right, everybody feeling better on a Thursday? Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. What a contrast in moods in the chat online for the last couple of days as opposed to the first couple of days. Holy cow, let's keep those good vibes going. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Feels very good on a Victory Thursday today. Great to be here with you. I am live from Lindale, Texas. I will be heading back to San Diego tomorrow. Been a great visit with my folks. We can talk about that. I want to talk to the homies, though. Paulie looking very sharp this morning, our executive producer, dressing like an executive producer. Good morning, Paul Reindl.
Oh my gosh! Wow, I was going to wish you a happy. I was going to wish you a happy National Senior Citizens Day, but you know what? After that compliment, I will not funny? Even go there.
Isn't that funny? Aren't you funny? AARP. I am getting stuff sent to my house. Then yours will be there almost any minute. It's really, really, it's not embarrassing. I'm privileged to make it to 50 years old after the life that I led. But yeah, it keeps coming to my home, and I'm seeing it, and I'm throwing it away immediately. Ben Higgins is almost 50. He's your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning. Still a junior citizen here in San Diego, though. So
yes,
things going well at home. Son's feeling a lot better yesterday. Definitely turned the corner, started eating some foods again. Everything seems to be on the up and up. So thank you again to everybody who has sent their well wishes over the last few days, but definitely hoping that we have turned a nice corner going forward with it.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. I hope so too. You know, it's scary, dude, when your kids are not feeling well. You know, I think when my kids aren't feeling well, it's that you're tempted, like, do I just keep them home? You know, is it just a cough? Will they get through it? And then you realize that every other kid that's in school is also sick at the same time. So let them all be sick together. Let them all develop these immunities, and, you know, we'll figure it out. Unless they're really, really sick, then you obviously want to keep them home. Well, how are you fellas doing? I'm ready to get back in studio with you guys. We're having a great visit here. Dad seems to be feeling a little bit better. We've got a big appointment today, though. A big appointment. Going to be heading to the doctor right after the show. Going to find out if I think if the cancer has spread anywhere. So that's obviously a big one. Want to make sure that he's healing properly. And so, yeah, kind of a big day here for him. And now he does not want us to go. I think he's listening right now. We're going. Just so you know, we're all going. He doesn't want to go. There's my mom's here. Hi, Mama. He doesn't want us to go, but we're going. We're going to ask all the questions because, you know, is this sexist to say? Even if it's sexist against my own sex, we aren't good at the doctor. We do what Ben does on the phone. Yep. All right, sounds good. Sure. Okay. And then we walk out the door, and then you get home. And my wife's like, "What did he say?" And I'm like, I don't know. I have to take this, and then I don't know. After that, you idiot is what she says to me every time.
You got to get the printout with the instructions and just hold on to that for dear life.
How elite is the printout that you get from the doctor?
They should do it like they did in school when you were like in first grade and just pin the note to your shirt
to
chest. Make sure that your parents got it. When you go to the doctor and you're, you know, like you're our age, Woods, you come home and they just pin all the instructions to your shirt so that when you get home, someone who's more responsible and pays a little more attention will know exactly what sort of care you need.
Well, and if you're a tier one and you're listening to this program, please hold a good thought for my pops today. Obviously, it's a big appointment, probably a pretty scary appointment, a scary appointment for all of us. But here, he's in his office right now, and he's reading the chat. So everyone tell him, quit being a hero. You do what the doctor tells you to do. We're all coming to the appointment. We're all a family. And, you know, it's time to fight, you know, and get through this thing. So let's shame him is what I'm basically saying. Can we all shame him into recovering faster and feeling better? Because, you know, I need him. My family needs him. His grandkids adore him. And I thought, man, if he is really going to be a jerk about this, I will put him on the air and you guys can we'll do a roast and the tier ones can call in and roast him and tell him, get your ass to that doctor's appointment and make sure you do what they tell you to do.
Just bound him to the chair and then put the headphones on him and he just has to listen.
Tie him here, man. He just has to sit and wear it for like 4 hours. So I figured a nice chat shame would do him some good this morning. So kind of a big day, man. We're going to head down there after, and it's tough, man. He's got a lot of complications and things. He has a vascular issue that is like, that's the one that gets me the most. Veins really freak me out. They like really, really freak me out. So he's going to have to get another surgery on that. But, we got to get through this thing first, man. But obviously he's very much beloved. I got a lot of great feedback about him being on the air this week and having, you guys having some fun with him. So yeah, we need him around, man. We need him around. So that's what I'm going to do. And I know he's reading the chat, appreciates your well wishes.
I think that he's also probably horrified that we're talking so openly about his medical issues on the radio with such a large audience. And I do get that, but there's no reason we should be embarrassed or be afraid to talk about it. I feel the same way I think Gary kind of does. For some reason, it feels like it should be something that remains kind of private. You don't really want to share it with that many people, and I don't know why. There's no reason for it.
ED happens to everyone, buddy. You have nothing to worry about, dude. It happens to you get a little older. I used to do those endorsements, and what happens is plaque builds up. Yeah, plaque builds up in your system. You got to break that plaque up. And then things start flowing again. You got nothing to worry about, dude.
But
it's fine.
You don't even really sometimes want to admit like the mundane stuff as well. Oh yeah, your cholesterol level is a little high, and like I don't want to tell anybody my
tablets now.
Cholesterol level is high.
Yes, yeah. Ben, listen, you're talking to the wrong person because I'll tell you guys everything that's going on.
Exactly,
everything. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't really matter to me, so I have no fear, and I guess by extension, my dad gets no leeway, especially when he's trying to fight back. He gets no leeway. But you do agree we need to be there with. This is not an appointment he's going to go by himself and be like, everything's fine, because I don't believe him. Nobody believes him. So, Pops, I know you're listening in the other room. I came here specifically to shame you and make sure that you do what you need to do. His grandkids, my kids, are
Gary,
worried
get
sick
your
about
ass to the doctor.
Jose in the chat offers some advice. He said, "My dad didn't follow the doctor's orders. He is dead now." Jeez, Jose.
Oh, wow.
My goodness, we're taking it to a dark place this early in the morning.
Shout out to his family.
Jose, no, when I say this, I really say this from the bottom of my heart.
My God.
I say this from the bottom. I really do say this from the bottom of my heart. I'm very sorry. And also, dude, thank you, man. Literally, like, thank you for saying that, because 70 years old is too early to check out. It just is. So I need him. We all need him. So yeah, I knew this morning I'm going to absolutely shame him into going. And yeah, if we have to tie him up, and I'd like to be in there, and I want to talk to the doctor and all of it. Not that I can do anything. That's why my mom's coming, so she can ask the tough questions. Maybe I can have her interview Mike Schilt tomorrow instead of me. That might be a decent idea. But so thank you guys for shaming him in the chat. Hopefully everything goes as it should today. Well,
best of luck, best wishes, and sending all of our love from San Diego here to Gary one more time this 100%.
Week. Now get your ass to that doctor.
Yeah, go to the doctor, the whole thing, man. But thank you guys for that. I appreciate it very much. Other than that, man, how's everything been around there? I'm missing seeing Adam every day, and I
haven't seen him once this week.
I think he's been playing hooky all week.
Oh, is he just the old proverbial working from home bit?
You're probably the only person who actually keeps him on his toes and coming in studio, because he knows you'll call him out if he doesn't. But since you're not here, he feels like he doesn't have to be here. I know he's paying attention though, because he texts.
That sounds
every 4 minutes.
That sounds like he can trust everybody else. Like he can work from home and trust that we won't tear apart the studio or something. But if Woods is here, then all of a sudden Adam needs to come into the studio.
It's really odd that he has not been in.
We'll talk about it. But the discourse right now about the San Diego Padres starting lineup in this town,
it's annoying.
Has become
at this point. It's like
it's like grown into its own ecosystem, and everybody is commenting every single day on Mike Schilt's lineups. Like this is some sort of referendum on your opinions on baseball. Is who Mike Schilt is playing, where they are in the order, where it could be better, where he's messing up. I mean, I would think if I'm Mike Schild, I'm kind of going crazy and I'm trying to tune out all this noise because the noise is constant right now.
Yeah, it is. The discourse is pretty interesting. I had a couple conversations with my pops about it last night, and it certainly has changed. The game of baseball has certainly changed as they've constructed lineups. And I was laughing yesterday with him, and I go, Dad, isn't it funny that for 100 years in the game, no one ever thought, you know what, my best hitter, let's move him up to the top-ish, 1 or 2, so he can get more ABs.
Right.
No one ever thought this. You know what I mean? Like, everyone was like, I've got Babe Ruth. He's obviously going to hit 4th. I've got so-and-so. He's obviously going to hit 4th.
There was no other possible place for your best hitter than 4th. Maybe 3rd, I guess, but it was always 4th. Yeah, clean up, the heavy hitter.
Like, it's funny. I watched a.
Like, would Barry Bonds be a leadoff hitter?
Well, this is the funny thing, Paulie. I'm so glad you brought up Barry Bonds. I like that Will Clark, Eric Burns podcast. I don't listen to the podcast, but the clips that they send out from the show are literally some of the funniest things I've ever seen. Now, Will he's unhinged. He's unhinged. He's as old school as it gets. I like him. I always liked him growing up. I thought he played with a little bit of swagger. So Eric Burns asked him, he said, so when Barry Bonds came over to San Francisco, did he mind hitting in the 5-hole? He goes, did he mind? And he's got that high voice. Yeah. Did he mind?
Yep.
He didn't mind. That sumbitch had runners on at 2, 3, and 4. He had Rob Thompson and me and Matt Williams. That mother effer he was in the RBI spot every time he came up. Did he mind? 5-hole? That's where you get the most RBIs. And I'm sitting there going, holy crap, dude. But if I got Barry Bonds in my lineup in the year 2025, I don't want there to be 4 outs in front of him potentially. Now, if you have the right personnel, and they did. Barry Bonds coming up with one of those dudes on base every single time, pretty elite, right?
But back then you got paid on RBI. Now you get paid on OPS. So, they'll look at how much you get on base and what you slug, and it doesn't necessarily matter. You can drive an 80, you can drive an 130, and it's not where the powers that be are going to allocate their dollars. So no longer is it that much of an advantage to sit there and wait until 5th and let other guys get on base before you.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I thought we were trying to win ball games. I think we are still. I think that hasn't changed. Is they wanted to win ball games then. They want to win ball games now. But it is just it's so interesting how things have changed. It really is. And the lineup has really become kind of something that it's driving me crazy a little bit. I understand it. I understand the discourse. I do. I think it too. I'm right there with you. I absolutely go, I don't know, man. It doesn't really make sense to me. But again, people hate to hear this, but I do often say when it comes to stuff like this, I defer to the experts. But if you're an expert and it continuously doesn't work, I think it's okay to be challenged in that. I absolutely think it's okay to be challenged. So it's kind of like if my toilet breaks, I can log on to YouTube, try to figure it out. I'd rather just turn it over to a plumber. I really would. I think I could do it. I think I could. It doesn't seem like a big fix, but I'd rather just pay a plumber to do it. I always subscribe to the fact that there's stuff that we don't know in the media on a daily basis. We don't know if somebody's got a bulky knee or a nagging hammy or, is it feeling well? Somebody's kid's sick. You know what I mean? You just never know. So I think I do think some managers do try to go on gut too much, and I do think there are managers that ride the analytics maybe a little bit too much. But, the sweet spot is really what you're looking for. And until this team wins the World Series, guys, you're going to question everything they do, and I think that's okay.
But, well, it worked out perfectly last night from Mike Schild. He still got, he got some crap for it because they felt like, oh, he's finally doing what we want him to do, and look how well the Padres play. But sort of
people know better.
I sort of feel crazy because I see good Padres fans, watching the game last night, looking at the lineup and going, see, this was a referendum. This is what we've asked for. Ryan O'Hearn plays against right-handed starters. He has.
Yeah.
The question is not whether he's going to be in there against righties. He is, and he should be. The question is, will he and should he be in there every game against left-handed starters as well? And until the Padres face another left-handed starter, we're not going to know if Mike Shildt has changed his opinion on that or not. And that's really the only, in my mind, the only real question about the Padres lineup. I think it's a legitimate question, to be sure. Should Ryan O'Hearn
I think there's another one. I think there's another question.
What's the other question?
The biggest question is in my opinion, is Arise best suited on this team in the 2-hole?
All right, I think that's part of the same question, because if Arise is in there, or if O'Hearn is in there against a lefty, is it at the expense of Arise? I think that's one of the biggest questions that is remaining for the last 6 weeks of this regular season that the Padres have to decide going into the playoffs. What does their best lineup look like for October? And against a left-handed starter in particular, does it include Luis Arise? Does it include Ryan O'Hearn? And what is it going to look like once we get to the postseason?
Yeah, no question about it, man. And the other thing I'll say this, not that you wish it to happen, but with 4 games left, we say it a lot about sometimes things happen that force your hand. Right. Sometimes things happen that force your hand. If somebody doesn't recover in time and, a guy's banged up or can't go, that forces the manager's hand. Ben, did am I crazy, or has Ryan O'Hearn started against every righty that we faced since we acquired him? Because I don't think he did.
He might have missed one game, but I think he's started almost every game against righties and none against lefties so far.
And see, here's D saying benching Arise is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I do think that Luis Arise in his perfect form deserves to be at the top of the order, in his perfect form. This year he has not been in his perfect form at all. And I do feel like him hitting in the 2-hole kind of throws a little bit of kind of hits the brakes on the first inning for the San Diego Padres more often than not. It's not a personal thing. I do love Louis, as you guys know. But I just wonder if it could be better optimized in another spot, and we will wait to see. But the O'Hearn v. lefty is going to be an interesting one, because in a very small sample size since he got here, he did not play against lefties in Baltimore. He did, barely ever played against lefties. Here, been a different story, man. And so we'll see how it all shakes out. I'm gonna certainly ask Shilty about it tomorrow.
It's going to be interesting. And then now Gavin Sheets, hits 2 home runs. And, do you try to find a place? It's even harder, by the way, to find a place in the lineup for Gavin Sheets. When everybody is healthy, it's even more difficult to see where he gets at-bats down the stretch and in the postseason. But, if he can do what he did last night, you'd also be kind of crazy not to find a spot for him, which is what, A.J. Preller was going for. He wants a deep team where you have multiple options, where you can withstand an injury or two. And now he's put it together, and it's driving all of us crazy down the stretch of the baseball season. This was the goal, was to have these many options.
You know what got me, though, yesterday that sent me over the edge is when somebody tweeted out Ryan O'Hearn's defensive prowess at first base. He's an excellent first baseman. So not only should he be in the lineup, Ben, he should be playing first base.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. If he's in the lineup, excellent. I like him at first base like he was yesterday. Correct.
No, I think Woods, are you saying he should be in there? He should be at first base almost every day, and then you take your chances with him. He's
your starting first baseman, in my opinion. He's number 2 in defensive runs saved for first baseman. I feel like if he's not starting at first base, that's quite a big jump from where he is to where Luis Arise is, who has played better, I think, defensively this year. Still kind of learning that position. I think he's played better. But when you have an elite, +7, he's the second best defensive first baseman in baseball. I don't know that he's my bench piece off the bat. I really don't. I want to we talk a lot on this show, and Shilty talks a lot about not giving things away. Okay, right. It's right there. Right there. We got a better first baseman. Let's play him, in my opinion. And really in the numbers opinion. The numbers kind of bear it out. I didn't make it up.
Well, we will continue this discourse throughout the morning as we go through the game, set the menu for what's coming up here on a Throwback Thursday edition of Ben and Woods, leading into a roundtable, a Woodsless roundtable at 10 o'clock this morning. I know you're sad that you're missing this one because it could get spicy and feisty with all of our hosts coming together. Yeah.
Can I say, actually, this is the roundtable that I'm most bummed to miss. I honestly am really bummed to miss this, and I'll say this: I've missed a few. I was traveling. I'm going to watch this on the way to the doctor. I will be actually watching the roundtable to see what happens.
All right, we will set the menu for today's program after a quick check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Caltrans, reminding you of work on the 805 through 2027. Good morning. Got a couple stall vehicles starting us off. One is on the Coronado Bridge, heading off the island right before mid-span. Got the left lane blocked, and reports of a stall on the Auto Parkway off-ramp of southbound 15. Caltrans reminds you that they are working on $54 million in improvements to northern central San Diego with the 805 drainage and surface infrastructure project stretching from the 5 to the 52 through the year 2027. Please plan accordingly. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, coming up between now and 10 o'clock this morning, we'll start with our Padres wrap-up of last night's 8-1 win over the San Francisco Giants. We will also look at the rest of the National League playoff chase. It was a much better day with the Padres picking up ground all over the place, including on the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are now just one game back again in the NL West. We'll go through that here in the first half of the show. Second half of the program, we'll have our regular Thursday guest, Eno Sarris, who wrote about Fernando Tatis Jr. for The Athletic this week, and to join us for some weekly Smart Baseball at 8:35. In-season Sammy Levitt's going to check in at 9:35 this morning. And then in and around that, our regular features, including Don't Do This, Real or Fake on a Throwback Thursday, the Reindl Report, and prizes to give away once again. All right, so we're going to do it one more time.
Oh, boy.
Third straight day. Ben's box is coming back.
Oh,
Ben's
God.
big box.
No.
It has been an epic failure the first two times we have tried it. But you have to try everything 3 times before you really know for sure. So coming up at 9:20 this morning, we have tickets to give away for the Padres-Dodgers game tomorrow night. This is a premium prize, and you're going to have to guess what's in Ben's big box.
Premium prize. Here's our worst game.
Once again, we are going to try it. Last time, maybe the last time ever, but we've got one more chance to get this right and not have it last 4 seconds as it did each of the first 2 iterations of Ben's big box.
The reviews on the the combined 6 seconds we've played this game have been pretty unbelievable. People are like, I know you guys think it's a failure. That's the hardest I've laughed in weeks. Like, please keep bringing the box back. We got to do it.
So we don't have a radio consultant per se that works with our show, but I do have someone that used to work in radio who I lean on as a consultant every single day. His name is Jack, Mailman Jack. We can just start calling him Mailman Jack on the program. He knows his stuff. His dad was radio legend Stacey Taylor. He was in the business before it drove him crazy, and he went into the business that never drives anyone crazy, delivering the mail.
Except with his dogs, and that kind of drives you crazy a little bit.
He called me yesterday. He goes, that's like literally the funniest thing I've ever heard. Those 2 were the funniest things I have ever heard in my life. And I said, all right, based on that, we will bring it back and keep bringing it back until it actually works.
Or maybe not. If it doesn't work again, we may just have to trash it entirely. But we got
trashing it.
Padres Dodgers tickets to give away, and a Throwback Thursday. Paul's got some great clips from past editions, past years of Ben and Woods that we're going to get to as well.
Yeah, I think I can make Woods cry.
Ooh, with a Throwback Thursday clip.
Yeah,
it's already emotional over there.
I am emotional.
Yeah. All right, so we'll start, though, with the wrap-up. Padres over the Giants last night. All the great highlights, the home run robbing catch, the home runs by Manny Machado, Gavin Sheets, Ryan O'Hearn. Jesse called it all, and we've got it all for you. Coming up next, do not go away. Ben and Woods continuing here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, since we were already talking about mortality in our first segment, might as well just go right into our raid for trust and will. It's a place where no matter how you're feeling, no matter what your health is, you want to make sure that your family is taken care of after you are gone. And that may not be for 20, 30 years, who knows? But if you don't have your documents in place, you could leave your family, Woods, in a real bad spot.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about this. It's very morose. And I don't want to have to think about anybody's trust or anybody's will. We all know who I'm talking about here right now. But it is something that every person needs to do, especially if you have a family. Just get it done. Keep it easy for them. Keep them out of probate court. It's very lengthy. It's very expensive. So just go to trustandwill.com. Use the code FAN when you check out FAN. You'll get 20% off, Benny.
Yep, you can do a simple will as well. Bequeath possessions to your loved ones. If you got some specific mementos that you want certain people to have, you can write all that down. And again, only takes about 20, 30 minutes. You're answering online questions. Couldn't be easier. No lawyer's office, no billable hours necessary. It's simply affordable and smart to do by going to trustandwill.com. That's trustandwill.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Don't forget, you can tune into the Manager's Report with Mike Schilt tomorrow at 9 a.m. here on Ben and Woods. The Manager's Report is refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. Exciting discussion with Mike Schilt, I think, coming up tomorrow. But if the Padres can win today, Woods, they will have another series victory, a 3-game winning streak, and will be no worse than one game behind the Los Angeles Dodgers heading into the final showdown of the regular season, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Petco Park. Can't go worse than last weekend. And I think it's important to note that, like a boxing match, Padres got knocked down. I mean, they took a pretty big punch from the Dodgers last weekend, but it wasn't a knockout blow. They've gotten back up off the canvas. Yep. They're absolutely still in the fight. They're one game back. And the fight goes on to another round. And now you have another opportunity to counterpunch and fight back on your home turf against the Los Angeles Dodgers this weekend. Whatever they needed to avoid this week with the Padres playing the Giants and the Dodgers playing the Rockies, they have survived it. Even if the Padres lost today and the Dodgers won, you'd still be within striking distance in this series going into this weekend. So you can undo all the damage you did last weekend and then some by having a successful weekend against the Dodgers. So it wasn't the death knell that a lot of people thought it might have been when the Padres got swept in Los Angeles.
Well, Purple said it can go worse. I mean, barring injury and thing, it really can't. You can't lose 5 games in 3 games. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, that's a good point. He says, what if a meteor hits the stadium? That's true. Okay, yeah. We will amend.
What happens then?
Our take. Well, then we're all in trouble, and nobody cares about a divisional race at that point. Yeah, I mean, you would hate to.
The Meteor's not coming until the Padres are up 3-0 in the World Series one day. That's when the Meteor strikes Petco Park, Padres fans. You already know this.
But we'll just claim the victory then at that point. That's fine. We won 3. We were definitely on our way to a sweep, and World Series champs hang the banner for sure. But there's no platitudes from me. Like, no matter what happens tonight with the Padres, no matter what happens tonight with the Dodgers, we were set up perfectly for the last series. Perfectly. We couldn't have been set up any better. And we still went out there and absolutely soiled ourselves. So I don't even think you can predict. These series have such a weird playoff feel. I don't even think it's worth it to break it down, really. Like, the pros were heavily stacked in our favor before the last series, and they got right, man. And the get right gang thing has got to stop for the San Diego Padres.
It's very tough to analyze at this point. I mean,
it is.
We sit here trying to do it. The Dodgers have lost 8 of 9 games against now the Angels and Rockies of the last 9. But they beat the Padres 3 straight. Padres have taken care of business against the lesser teams where the Dodgers haven't. And remember, outside of the head-to-head matchups, the Padres now have a much better record than the Dodgers this year.
Correct.
It's the only thing keeping the Dodgers ahead of the Padres now is the head-to-head series victory that they've already earned. And is it matchups? Is it psychology, Padres versus Dodgers? Because it's not. I know people go, wow, the Padres put too much emphasis on the Dodgers. Literally, the Dodgers have changed everything about how they play the Padres. They are sitting Shohei Ohtani today to make sure he is ready for the Padres series Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Dave Roberts had already announced that this would be a scheduled day off because, of course, they circle these games more than any other game on their schedule. So you can't criticize the Padres for doing it when the Dodgers also do it at the same time. The Dodgers have simply been more successful at it.
Yeah, I only criticize the Padres for doing it when it doesn't work and when it does for them. So I think that's an important distinction. Again, you can't let Dave and if you're the Padres, you can't let Dave and his psychological warfare in your head. You do need to treat it as a big game because it is a big game, man. You're talking a very minute deficit, going into a 3-game series. This should be treated as a big game because it is a big series.
Well, we will tell you how the Padres are set up after the next game. But first, we got to go through the last one from last night. Got our Padres Wrap-Up with all the highlights with Jesse and Tony coming up right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. Fortunately, no big surprises on our roads at this time. Stalled vehicle has been taken off the Auto Parkway off-ramp southbound 15, but now reports of a stalled transit bus, Siempre Viva on-ramp to westbound 905. Before you hit the beach, the mountains, or even the 5 this Labor Day weekend, be road trip ready with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment needed. Stay in your car while they change your oil and check your tires, battery, and fluids. Coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Miss any of the Padres win yesterday? Ben and Woods didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got you covered with all of the highlights.
Oh, yes.
It's the
Padres Wrap-Up.
Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort with gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
I want to go fast, but I want to go slow, and I want to go deep.
Payoff pitch. Devers swings, hits it in the air to very deep right field. Fernando is back. He is at the wall. He will leap up, and he did it again. Fernando Tatis over the right field wall. Did it a couple of years ago out there in almost the exact same spot. And one of the great home run robberies you will see this season. What a play. 3-2 again. Here's pitch 10, and O'Hearn lines it into center field. That's down to the base hit. Tatis racing around third. He's on his way to score. What an at-bat by Ryan O'Hearn. And a 1-0 Padre lead in the first. Sheets swings, rips it in the air down the right field line. Gonna hook it inside the pole, a home run. Gavin Sheets with his career high, 16th of the season. A lead shot in the second inning. And the Padres double their lead. It's 2-0. Padres a 2-0 lead. And on a 3-0 swing, Manny sends one high and deep into left center field and gone into the bullpen. Manny Machado's 21st home run of the season. Padres have had it on again. It's 3-0. The pitch from Lucchesi, and that's in the air deep down the right field line. Sheets towards the pole again. Gonna go! Second of the night for Gavin Sheets. He has homered in 2 straight innings. This one a 3-run shot, and it's 6-0 San Diego. And Schmidt swings, hammers it to deep left field. Sheets is back at the wall, gonna go. Casey Schmidt comes home and hits a home run. Got a call on the pitch before, takes advantage, and the Giants are on the board at 6-1. Swings here, sends one in the air, high and deep to center field. Lee's back on the track. He's looking up. It's going to go. How about another for Ryan O'Hearn? Second home run of the series. 4th of the night for the Padres. And 7-1 here in the 7th. Fernando hits it hard on the line into left field. That's a base hit. They're going to wave for Amin. Ramos's throw is on the way. Up the line and over the head of Bailey. Tatis at second, trying for third. The throw there from Buto, who backed up, is in time, and the inning is over. But the Padres add on. Tatis an RBI hit to make it 8-1. Morgan trying to seal the deal. The pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Got him with a good curveball. And David Morgan, 4 up, 4 down, and he caps the night with a K. As the Padres beat up on the Giants 8-1. They hit 4 homers. They get 6 strong from J.P. Sears, and they pull back to within a game of the Dodgers in the National League West.
Very impressive, very encouraging. I think we knew what we had when we traded him, felt good about the possibilities with Sears. And, man, he was good tonight.
Another all-around excellent game by the San Diego Padres. 8-1 win over the San Francisco Giants, but it literally starts with Fernando Tatis Jr. and the catch he made in the top of the first inning and then doubling to lead off the bottom of the first inning, coming around to score. 2 more hits, reached base 3 more times, an RBI, a run scored, a walk. Looking like a premium, at least, leadoff hitter in Major League Baseball right now.
I mean, you guys, that catch, when he hit it, I went, and it's Devers, right? Like Devers puts a good swing on a baseball and has for many, many years, and he hit it, and I went, you have got to be kidding me. There is no way. That would have been how many games in a row?
4th game in a row with the first inning home run had Tatis not made that catch.
It's like the Slam Diego reverse. You know what I mean? Like it was like when we were hitting a grand slam every game. This would have been it would have been so bad and so deflating. Could they have won? Absolutely. Absolutely. They did it the night before. No big deal. But it just, talk about an emotional lift when he went over the wall, grabbed that ball back. And, I tweeted, and I don't think people really got my tweet. I said, he's not hitting them, but he can still rob them, and that is as valuable to me. Snatching home runs back is as valuable as hitting a home run, dude. Run prevention is incredible, and there's just nobody better. He has the most home run robberies this season with 4, I believe. And so, you might as well tack 4 home runs onto his home run record because he's brought 4 back.
He's been out there now for a few years, and when he made that transition from shortstop to right field, I thought he could be good. I thought he could be a good outfielder. He was so athletic, just a freak of a player. I didn't think he'd be the best right fielder in all of baseball. So quickly, at least. He's unbelievable.
He leads all of baseball in defensive runs saved. I don't know exactly how they work that metric, that statistic, but you've got to feel like that's one right there. I mean, that is literally a defensive run.
4 robberies of home runs
saved by making that catch.
Should have gone over the wall.
He's 1 ahead of Pete Crow Armstrong, who is second with 20 defensive runs saved. So he's tracking to win another platinum gold, not just a gold glove, but another platinum glove as the all-around best fielder in all of baseball. So that's an incredible value that he brings to the table when you're talking about what Fernando Tatis Jr. is doing. And even without the power, again, he's still scoring tons of runs. He's getting on base. He's taking his walks. He is contributing in multiple ways all around. I think you can still say that he may be the all-around best player in baseball, even when he is not doing everything. I know everyone will say Shohei Ohtani can pitch, but he doesn't play the field at all, and he's not pitching particularly well this year. His ERA has climbed to close to 5 after he gave up 5 runs yesterday, and it has impacted his hitting as well. His batting average is somewhere in the 230s, I think, this year. Yeah, he still hits a ton of home runs, but honestly, if you're going to tell me who's the better all-around baseball player, Fernando Tatis Jr. or Shohei Ohtani, I'd lean toward Fernando Tatis Jr. at this point, even knowing that Fernando does have more in the tank when it comes to slug and home run capability that he has not been able to really unlock other than in the first month of the season this year.
It is to watch him again. We talked yesterday about it. Look, I understand it, and Eno's writing a piece about it, and we'll talk to Eno about it today. I understand that there is a desire for more home runs from Fernando Tatis Jr., but this version of him is pretty spectacular. Pretty spectacular. I know. We've talked many times about, man, he looks down or, he looks upset. He goes out and makes plays like that. Does he run in from right field hard all the time? No, he doesn't. Does he always smile in the dugout? Is he always on the top step? Nope, he's not. But at the end of the day, guys, that is a complete baseball player. Complete, and maybe he's never going to be a 40 home run guy. But if he is able to turn in seasons like this with an OPS over 800, 5.5 WAR, 6 WAR, 7 WAR player by the end of the year, I don't know what we're complaining about. Are we complaining just to complain? I'd love to see more home runs. I know he would too, but not at the expense of plate discipline, OPS, getting on, slugging the ball like he did last night. The guy is an elite player and needs to be treated as such.
Player of the game number 2 last night in my mind, Gavin Sheets, with 2 home runs in back-to-back innings, as you heard. And Gavin Sheets has done, I think, what may be the most difficult thing for a baseball player to do. He has gotten hot without actually playing much because he was kind of cold there in the pre-trade deadline. He had started to scuffle a little bit offensively, and then he stopped playing almost every day. Rarely got opportunities once the Padres acquired Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn. They just didn't have a spot in the lineup for him, but because of injuries to Jackson Merrill, and then Xander Bogaerts was also out yesterday after fouling a couple of pitches off his legs the previous couple of days. Gavin Sheets had an opportunity to get into the lineup and made the absolute most of it, getting up to 17 home runs now, new career high. Congratulations to Gavin Sheets, who remains one of the more unsung heroes of this season for the San Diego Padres. They would not be where they are today within a game of first place without the contributions of Gavin Sheets and the attitude that he has also brought in accepting his diminished role and still being ready to produce when they need him, like last night.
Yeah, and I do wonder, what it's going to look like going through the rest of the season when Jackson Merrill comes back. Was just texting with a buddy about that. Our buddy John Conniff. There seems to be there will be an odd man out. My guess is that Gavin Sheets goes back to the bench, and I don't know, is that the right move right now? But while he's there, while he's in the lineup, he certainly makes the most of his opportunities. Love that dude. I love that guy. I'm so happy for him, man, resurrecting his career in San Diego, and he's helping us win. He's helping us win baseball games, and that's the most important thing.
All right, well, the question is, because I don't think Gavin Sheets, you don't want him starting every day against lefties.
No.
Now, you can make the argument against righties. You want his bat in there. So when you're right-hander, which person do you take out of the lineup for Gavin Sheets in the outfield? Is it? You want Ramon Laureano playing right every day, or do you take him out against righties and just have Gavin Sheets in there, give up a little defensively, but, because you didn't acquire Ramon Laureano to be a platoon player either. Would we have the same screams going on about Laureano that we do about O'Hearn right now if you started taking him out for Gavin Sheets? You're not taking Tatis out, I would think, in right field.
Correct.
So he's got to stay in there. And then you're not taking Jackson Merrill out against righties. If you're taking him out against righties, then he's not a starter anymore. And I think you really gave him obviously a 9-figure contract to be starting every day, not to sit against the opposite handed pitcher. So how does Gavin Sheets get in when everybody's healthy? That's the question.
You can tell me this is like, you can tell that we've never had a deep bench. You can tell because everyone is twisting themselves into a knot about who's going to be on the bench and when and where and why. You could tell we've never had that option of a deep bench. And, Peralta and Solano, those guys were getting pretty regular playing time when guys would go down last year. But having this bench this year has thrown us all into a tizzy. Like, we just don't know what to do when we have too many good players and trying to get them all in at the right time. Got to be a difficult decision for Schilt. But,
it feels so negative because it's just so much
It
arguing,
feels negative.
but it's really a positive.
Yeah.
We talked about it yesterday. It's an embarrassment of riches,
it is.
right? Like, if you have too many bench players, too many good players that you want every day in your lineup, that's not the worst problem to have.
It's not, but it does lead to a lot of discourse, certainly.
More MVPs of the game yesterday. Obviously, O'Hearn, we've talked about him a little bit. The biggest swing of the game, though, I thought Manny Machado's 3-0 swing was kind of a game-defining moment in that, he felt the ability to be aggressive there on that count. He had not hit a home run in the month of August. Finally got one, and you can see the signs now. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but the last couple of days, you see him breaking out of his slump and starting to hopefully go into one of the patented Manny Machado hot streaks that tend to last not days, but weeks when he gets hot, and some good swings out of Manny Machado. And that could be an absolute game changer in a pennant race if they can get Manny going like he has been going probably 2 or 3 times already this season. Now they, get another hot streak from Manny coming up. That would be absolutely huge.
Somebody's got to find out what his batting average is on 3-0, and I'm surprised Landon Root didn't. I mean, you can't throw that ball was a floater. I mean, it was just like, get me over BP 3-0 pitch. And it's Manny Machado up there. You almost know he's swinging. I mean, you'll take a walk there. You know what I mean? You will walk Manny Machado or let him feebly ground out on a pitch away. He threw that ball belt high down the middle, and Manny was like, oh my God, thank you for the gift. And he did what we need him to do. He deposited it into the left field bleachers. It was fantastic.
I think Don and Mudd said it was first time in 2 years he'd hit a home run on a 3-0 pitch, though. So
that's crazy.
Doesn't happen that often for Manny Machado.
But he will hack 3-0 all the time.
And then JP
318
Sears,
career hitter, 3-0.
JP Sears wasn't dominant, but certainly did everything they could have asked of him. 6 innings, 1 run. That's what you want out of a guy like JP Sears. Paulie has found the opposing call for the home run robbery by Fernando Tatis Jr. We'll hear that and more coming up next. Hour number 2 of Ben Woods on the Fan. Christy in our chat says, Ben, Woods, and Paulie, you guys must have lit those Padres prayer candles. Those last two games have been nice. Did we mention it earlier this week when we were at Moneyline on Saturday night? We had the most beautiful gifts given to us. This absolutely gorgeous prayer candles like you'd see in church, but with Padres players decorated. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't know where they are now, though. Hannah Nancaro
I took them.
Made off with them at the end of the night. I hope they have a good home in your house somewhere.
They do. I mean, we have a little Padres
shrine,
shrine, if you would, in our office, and we've got all of the candles and things like that. We put them all up. They look spectacular. I wish I remembered the guy's name that did them, but when I get home, I will definitely be giving him a shout out. They were beautiful. Yeah,
we met a lot of tier ones on Saturday night. Ton of people who showed up, and it was fun to meet everybody again. Thank you for coming out to Moneyline. We got to do that again sometime soon because that was a lot of fun. Just hopefully we get a better game than we got on Saturday night. The absolute, arguably worst game of the season. I mean, we could have picked any other game. I think the atmosphere would have been better for the baseball. But that's baseball. You take your chances sometimes. Padres have bounced back though. Won the last two against the San Francisco Giants. Will go for a series victory and a guttural scream perhaps tomorrow morning if they get a third straight against the Giants. But as we told you in our last segment, the game really setting the tone was Fernando Tatis Jr. with his catch, his home run robbing catch of Rafael Devers in the first inning. And Paulie has done a little battle of the broadcasters, getting all the versions of the home run. You heard Jesse's call earlier, but I have
the non-home run.
The non-home run, right. I have no problem hearing it again from Jesse Agler. Then we'll do Don. We've got the Giants broadcasters, and then we have our Spanish language broadcasters as well.
Payoff pitch. Devers swings, hits it in the air to very deep right field. Fernando is back. He is at the wall. He will leap up, and he did it again. Fernando Tatis over the right field wall. Did it a couple of years ago out there in almost the exact same spot. And one of the great home run robberies you will see this season. What a play.
It's a strong call.
Really good call by Jesse on that one. Was on top of it. I wasn't sure watching on television if he actually made the catch or not. Woods, were you confident that it went in his glove when you were watching?
Yeah, I was watching. I was laying on my side in bed watching it on my iPad. So it was about 2 feet from my face. So I saw it go in the glove and was like, you've got to be kidding.
Because he then laid right there on the warning track with his back against the wall. Didn't show it for, 5-6 seconds where he popped it out of his glove. And I was not 100% sure. I think Don.
Okay, so he was sitting, hold on, Benny. So he was sitting cross-legged.
Yeah.
Right? And he did the thing where he's
his legs were splayed outwards, I believe.
Well, okay, splayed outward.
Yeah.
And then he lifts himself up just using his legs. Could you do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no chance.
Could you have that part, Paulie, so Ben can see it? At the break, I'd like you to try it against the wall. Paulie will film it.
The little hop up that he can do? I don't think I can do it.
Oh, well, you try. I mean, you're strong now. Do squats and whatnot.
I mean, I got good calves. So
you got great calves. You have no excuses. But he did that. I went, geez, that's maybe the most athletic part of that play for me.
Putting it up right now.
Yeah, Paulie's going to show it because it was spectacular. So there's the shot, deep. He goes back. He's got a beat on it.
God, he
jumps
up. No fan
brings
interference.
It back. So legs splayed wide open.
Yep.
Ladies, calm yourselves. And then he just pops himself up.
There's no chance.
But he used the wall kind of to brace himself to get up.
He did not use his hands though at all.
No
not
hands.
even a little.
No. Just popped up.
Pops himself up. Look, I don't even think he used the wall.
It looks like a magic trick.
It looks like a magic trick. It really does. I mean, you can give me 500 tries. I'm not doing it.
It's very smooth.
So I'd like to see you at the break try it and see what we can do.
Got some wall space to attempt
Ben's
that.
just going to tip over.
It'll be great.
All right, let's go to the Padres television call from Don Orsillo and Mud Grant.
Right-handers at 262, so kind of reverse splits. High drive, right field. Back goes Fernando at the wall. He leaps in, makes the catch. Fernando up into the air, makes the catch at the wall.
Very solid by Don.
Oh, loved it.
Absolutely.
Joe Davis could never.
As you can imagine, the call on the Giants side of things was a little more muted by Dwayne Kuiper, I believe.
Well, not to start. Not to start, it wasn't muted.
No, he was very excited.
Yeah.
High drive, right field. Tatis back. It is caught.
He does the
I love
it is
the
high,
right
it is far.
field.
Yeah, he does the that it is out of here.
Yeah.
Right? That's his call.
That's his
so
call,
it is
caught.
It was right field. He's all
High
cocky.
drive, right field. Tatis back. It is caught.
Man. It's
Did
like
you
when your
edit
mom
out a little
walks
bit
in
of
on
time,
you, dude.
too?
Oh.
No, I don't think
he
I did on
waited
this
a
one.
long time
No.
before he said caught, I thought. So,
That
and then
was great.
finally, little Padres Spanish language. I believe this is our friend Pedro Gutierrez, not Eduardo Ortega, on the call, but here is a Padres Spanish language radio.
La prende Devers al jardín derecho. La persigue Tatis de un brinco, son advertencia. Tatis la trae de regreso. Espectacular el brinco de Tatis. Wow. La defensa premier en el jardín derecho.
All right, I got a few of those words. Defensa premier defense in the right field, the derecho. Spectacular, I think, works in both languages. There was just a couple of words I didn't understand there.
It was really, I missed it. Sorry. I was talking to my dad, but I had heard just the tail end of it. So I'll take your word for it.
I thought it was very solid, though. Good calls all around, except for perhaps Dwayne Kuiper, who just was very, very disappointed. So
I liked that call very much.
It is caught.
Right field. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. And I think, we kind of glossed over it. We kind of glossed over it. The performance from JP Sears last night was exactly what we needed and then some. You know what I mean? We talked yesterday. Please, God, keep us in a ball game. Let the offense try to get on track, do its thing. And got through 6 innings last night. Benny was everything you could have dreamed of.
I mean, there's not a lot of swing and miss. Obviously he gave up some hard hit balls. There was the near home run by Devers. There were a couple of line outs to start the second inning. When then he gave up some soft hits and loaded the bases, got out of that one jam, though, that he needed with a pop-up on the first pitch. Another beautiful mound visit by Ruben Niebla, by the way. How many times does he go out and the next pitch is like a pop-out and the inning's over? Seems like happens a lot for Ruben. So that was really his only area where he got into a spot of trouble other than the home run that he gave up to Casey Schmidt in the game. But it seems like he's, a new version of Randy Vasquez. He's going to get contact. He's going to try to make it soft. He's not going to strike out a lot of batters, but very effective. If you can get 6 innings, I mean, Padres get 6 innings out of their starter, 1 run. With the bullpen that they have, that should be a win 95% of the time. If you're going to get 6 innings of 1 run out of your starter, you feel very good about the Padres' chances to win any game against any team if they can get that kind of pitching performance from their starting pitcher.
Well, and how nice is it to have a guy like David Morgan, who would be the 7th, 8th inning guy on most teams, be able to come in and get 5 outs for you and pitch the way that he does. I mean, honestly, put him, Benny, on any other contender. That guy's a setup man. At the minimum, he's a setup man. So to have him, just kind of hanging out down there, getting outs when needed in any inning, he's fantastic. What a find by A.J. Preller.
And by the way, Wandy Peralta continues to pitch his tail off here in the second half of the season.
Right now.
His ERA down to almost 1 now in the last 2 months. He's been fantastic. And the fact that they did not have to go to any of their top 5 relievers. I know Jeremiah Estrada got up for a minute in the bullpen. That was about it. But that sets them up. Now, there's obviously today's game, but you also feel like you're not going to have to use all 5 in the same game unless it's a wild extra inning, close game all the way through. That means you're going to have fresh back-end bullpen relievers no matter what going into the first game of the series against the LA Dodgers. Dodgers, of course, are coming off a tough series here now for them. Coors Field did not get a lot of length out of Shohei Ohtani yesterday, just 4 innings. So had to use a lot of bullpen arms. They're probably going to have to use some bullpen arms today again in the series finale because it's a 4-game series. That's a grind at altitude. So they'll be coming in somewhat weakened, hopefully, and the Padres will hopefully be going in somewhat fresh, which makes today's start by Dylan Cease another really important one. Coming off the bad effort against the Dodgers, can he bounce back at home against a lesser team? Pitched well last time, I believe, against the Giants, and keep that bullpen nice and fresh going into this weekend.
I mean, what a great example of a guy pitching the night before him in J.P. Sears. I mean, look, you have elite stuff. Throw it in the zone, man. Use your defense behind you. Try to command the zone a little bit. Stop giving free passes because free passes to any team are going to kill you. They're just going to kill you. So, yeah, man, use your defense today. Go out there and let it eat. Let it rip a little bit if you're Dylan Cease. You need to wash that last start off of you ASAP. And speaking of Shohei, this was a really interesting tweet I saw last night, Benny. He started last night as by far the largest road favorite of his career at the Rockies. He has never won as a huge road favorite. He's 0-7 in his career as a road favorite of at least minus 190. That's pretty bananas last night. And if I was still placing bets every day, I would have looked at that game and said, Shohei against the Rockies, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. Doesn't matter what the money line is. I'm taking it. I'm taking the run line. For them to go out, again, shout out to the Colorado Rockies for really, really picking us up.
Yeah, I would imagine most of those losses obviously came with the Angels. He hasn't started that many games for the LA Dodgers. Exactly. Hasn't started that many on the road. So this is kind of new for him this year, but he has not pitched. I mean, he's had a couple of good short outings, but overall, the results have been very mediocre. And given the toll it seems to take on him, going to take today off after pitching, at what point do the Dodgers just have to say, Shohei, you just be a DH. You're the best, DH in the league. Your bat is what makes you so valuable. We love that you can pitch. We know you want to pitch, but I think you're hurting yourself more than you're helping yourself. And we have plenty of starting pitching. I mean, honestly, the Dodgers are the one team that doesn't need Shohei. Did the Dodgers
give him $780 million, whatever, for him to just be a DH, though? They paid him to pitch.
They probably did pay him to pitch, but they don't need him to pitch right now. With the other starters that they have in their rotation, you'd rather have a more effective Shohei at the plate, I would think, than, getting 4 mediocre innings from him and making that impact possibly the rest of his week as a hitter. Am I crazy?
I'd say let him keep pitching. That's my that's my analysis. I have a question for you. I think I've asked it before, but I have no memory whatsoever anymore. I'm getting old. In the playoffs, or even not in the playoffs, in a big game, Shohei Ohtani is penciled in as the designated hitter. What if they want to bring him in relief? Do they just get a pass to do that anytime they want?
I don't believe you've asked that question.
I thought I had.
I believe the Shohei rule applies whether he is a starter or a reliever.
Oh, how nice.
That he can come in and pitch at any time and remain as the designated hitter without affecting the Dodgers lineup.
So he starts, and then let's say he hits. He grounds into grounds it back to the pitcher. Then he runs down to the bullpen before his next AB, gets hot, comes in and throws an inning because, like you said, he has been effective in short spurts. That's probably what I would do with him.
But that obviously that could be unfeasible. You can't really plan for it. Let's say you think you want to bring him in the 7th inning, but if he's batting in the bottom of the 6th and he's like third up that inning, you're not going to be able to warm him up and get him ready to pitch in time. So
it's got a timeout. Well, see, Ben, in adult ball, oftentimes we don't even send guys to the bullpen. We just call them right in and they take the mound. So I'm sure he can do it.
Charles says, can you go play left and after you just threw 5 innings? Thanks.
And to be fair, Charles says, so stupid they made a rule for one player. It's not really true. I mean, last night, Luis Arraez was the designated hitter. If Mike Schilt wanted to bring him in relief, I believe they could have done that, and he could have remained as the designated hitter in the game. So, it could be the Luis Arraez rule or whoever, the Ryan O'Hearn rule. If you want to pitch him when he's DHing one day,
you never know.
You can do that as well. I just don't think any other team is interested in seeing their DH out there throwing pitches late or early in a game.
It's pretty crazy to think that could actually happen in a big league game, man. It is pretty nuts. But yeah, the thing that kind of blew my mind is he got smoked by like 95 off the leg.
Yeah, it took a line
and they
drive.
left him in. Yeah, they left him in. He stayed in there and then took another AB. I'm like,
yeah, that was weird.
God,
he also got hit by a pitch in the leg a couple of days ago as well. So can't be feeling, 100% right now. No one is at this point in the season, but
no.
Yeah, if you're the Dodgers, you've got to feel like 4-game series in Colorado, 3 out of 4 minimum, and hoping for the 4-game sweep. And now they've got to win today, and they play early. They play at 12 o'clock today. They have to win just to earn a split of their 4-game series against the Colorado Rockies. So that's got to be considered a real missed opportunity for the Dodgers. They're going to have Clayton Kershaw on the mound against Chase Dollander. So you'd figure, again, they'll be very heavy favorites, minus 225 on my ESPN bet website right here. So you feel like, obviously, but they were heavy favorites yesterday, and it didn't seem to help them in that game.
And 2 days ago as well.
Well, and speaking of comebackers, we didn't even mention the Giants one yesterday. Landon Roop. That one really sucked to watch, man. That was awful because he was just coming back from an injury, and the look on his face when he couldn't even get up off the mound yesterday, that was tough to watch.
So as I understand,
think it was his go ahead.
Well, as I understand it, it wasn't necessarily the line drive that injured him.
He
it was,
twisted his knee.
It was trying to get away, and he turned his knee trying to get away from the line drive.
As soon as I saw the replay, I was like, oh, it had nothing to do with the line drive at all. His knee bent back and buckled on him, and
I'm sure the instinct of trying to get away from it caused him to do an unnatural maneuver. So in the sense, the line drive by Ramon Laureano was the ultimate instigator in the injury, but it wasn't the ball. When they said at 95, I'm going, well, it's hard, but batters get hit by 95-mile-an-hour pitches all the time. It's generally doesn't generally cause major injuries when you do that.
No, it was the knee, man.
But it was definitely the turning of the knee and how it happened.
I mean, anytime the guy's coming back from injury, trying to build back up, and to see a guy get carted off and damn near crying. Oh, I hated that.
All right, we've got Don't Do This is coming up next. Woods, you've got what's something you wanted to read?
Yeah, I've got fans behaving very badly.
I hate that. And then a scary story that happened, well, apparently a year ago in Kansas City, but just coming out yesterday that the football world is talking about with the Chiefs. We'll get to all of that coming up next. Don't go away. More Ben and Woods coming up on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, played at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Day game for our baseball team today. So if you are looking for plans tonight, may I suggest a trip down for dinner and some cards at 7 Mile Casino. It is so easy to get to, and you're going to find yourself in San Diego's best, most upscale card room with a phenomenal atmosphere, Woods.
That's right, Benjamin. I could not agree more. Please do us a favor. They've supported us for so many years and really cater to the tier ones when you head out there. Go out and have a great time. Sit down, play some California-style blackjack, some Texas Hold'em, some Pai Gow, some Baccarat, and have a delicious meal, be amongst friends, have a nice cold beer, watch the game, go after the game, whatever. It's all beautiful at 7 Mile.
Yeah, and those meal options, obviously you get the regular menu at Sammy's for dinner, the pizzas, the pastas, the salads, all great, but any time of day you can also enjoy their 24/7 players menu, not available at any other Sammy's, just the one inside 7 Mile Casino. Eat at the table at 2 a.m., 6 a.m. The weekend brunch is spectacular, Saturdays and Sundays from 9 to 3, best in the South County. Try it out today, 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Let's just say that we had a don't do this moment during the break, as I did attempt the Fernando Tatis pop-up, and it did not go well. Video incoming from Paul Reindl shortly.
Yes.
It's so difficult.
Yes.
I mean, that is...
It's
crazy how easy he made that look. Crazy. All right, don't do this. Brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. Like Shelly in our chat said it was very easy to go through and get her documents done. All right, Woodsy, why don't you get us started today?
Well, this is, it's really a thing now with social media, and I kind of like when it's brought to people's attention. And Taylor Saucedo, he's a reliever for the Mariners. He's not having a great year, did not have a good game on Wednesday. It happens. It's the big leagues. They're pretty good, too, on the other side. He did give up 5 runs in the Mariners' 11-2 loss to the Phillies on Wednesday. And his girlfriend, Kelsey Scott, released a couple of messages that they had gotten. And I'll tell you what, man, as far as messages go, it's pretty bad. He gets a DM that says, "I hope your effing head gets blown to pieces walking in Philly, you autistic, ugly piece of S." Then he says, "Your C-word wife/girlfriend dying would be awesome as well." And he went to Twitter and posted, "I understand wanting me gone after today and this year as a whole. Nobody's more disappointed with how this year has gone for me than myself. Trust me, I want to win just as much as you guys, whether I'm here or not. But messaging me this bull S and my girlfriend sending this stuff is beyond baseball. It's insane how comfortable people are sending this stuff to not only me, but my partner. Tell me I suck all you want. That's fine. But at some point, we got to get a grip." It's about as vile as it gets, man.
That was, I mean, that touched all the bases of,
pretty much,
of vileness in that one DM.
Pretty much every single one.
Wow.
Nobody. I mean, you already have a bad day at the office. You come home to that, man. No good.
This is a scary story. Now, it happened last May, but did not come out publicly in the media until yesterday, involving the Chiefs and Coach Andy Reid. So back last year on May 4th, so this is during the offseason, he's working late in his office, May 4th, 2004. How about that? He's working after like midnight in the middle of the off season in his office.
I wash.
Well, we didn't know he was there until yesterday, and we only know that because while he was sitting in his office, a bullet came through the glass window of his office and lodged into the wall like 15 feet from where he was sitting. It apparently was one of 3 bullets fired that night at the Chiefs practice facility in Kansas City. No one was hurt, fortunately, at the time. Police are still have an open investigation as to where these bullets came from. It's being treated as an aggravated assault because the building was occupied at the time. It had not come out until yesterday. It was revealed that there is now bulletproof glass in Andy Reid's office in Kansas City, just to make sure no one takes pot shots or whoever thought they were doing something being funny or whatever was going on. But this is
really
something
funny.
that
It's a
actually
really funny
happened
joke.
last year for the Kansas City Chiefs. And of course, that was when they were coming off 2 straight Super Bowl titles. So can't have too irate of a fan base at that point, I would think.
That is, it's pretty. Why did it just come out now, I wonder?
I'm not sure, if it leaked from the police at some point. It's pretty amazing that they kept it quiet for
that was my first
a year and about 15, 16 months that this has been kept quiet in Kansas City. No arrests have made in the case.
Maybe somebody noticed the bulletproof glass and was like, "What's this about?"
That's possible.
Holy smokes, dude! All right, well, be careful out there if you're working late. Would never happen to me ever. Let's get to some positivity and pretty fun audio.
DD mega doo-doo.
Last night after the big Padres win, John Morosi went down to the field and happened to snag Padres superstar Manny Machado. And Manny had some pretty funny and interesting comments talking about one of his teammates.
Manny, congratulations. You're a third-inning homer. You looked right in the dugout, and you smiled with a point. Who were you looking at there?
Darvish.
What did he say?
He's been giving me tips and tales on my approach. Sometimes you gotta listen to these guys that watch a lot of videos. So, he gave me the tips and tales how I should approach this team today.
What kind of hitting knowledge does you have?
I mean, he's smart. I think he's one of the smartest guys we have on our team. I mean, he spends hours, nitpicking on guys, approach how, guys are not hitting. I mean, I don't think there's anyone on our team that does more reports than he does. So, sometimes you got to go to some of these guys like, hey, what you got? What you got for me? And he delivered today.
Manny, I love that. Gavin Sheets.
That's amazing.
I love it, man. It's great, and it reminds me of the Greg Maddux doc because listen, we've heard many times, right? The pitchers are their own family, and the hitters are their own family. And anytime you have, when Mud and Don have Joe Musgrove up there, and even if it's a Padres player, and he checks his swing or he doesn't check his swing, Joe will say, I mean, look, you ask me, I'm always going to say he goes, I'm a pitcher.
Right.
But Maddux used to sit and talk with all the hitters all the time about their approach and how can I, if it was me on the mound, how can I fool you, right? Oh, we'll throw the low fastball, then throw the low changeup after that. So getting that knowledge from pitchers, what is you seeing on these pitchers that they have? He watches tons of film. He's obviously a great resource, and I thought that was pretty cool. You, Darvish, teaching Manny Machado how to get back into the swing.
I mean, think about that. You, Darvish, who hasn't taken an at-bat in years since, the designated hitter came around full-time in baseball, is just watching film, and he thinks, you know what? I'm going to go up to Manny Machado, one of the great players of his generation. He's in a bit of a slump right now, but I've just watched so much video. I think I see what he's doing and can change and how he can approach at least this pitcher and what he can do to be successful. And Manny listened and implemented it and hit a 3-0 home run.
Well, Benny, I mean, I see there's a billion pitching coaches and hitting coaches right on X every single night for any fan base across the league. I mean, they're everywhere out there. Everybody knows how to play that game. But yeah, it is funny. I mean, I've heard radio hosts talk about how they could get hitters right, with just a little time in the batting cage. It's wild what people will say. I'm going to take you Darvish's advice though every single time.
And that is don't and do this for a Thursday.
That
was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Wasn't just the Dodgers who lost last night. Padres got more help in the National League playoff chase. We'll get into that coming up. But also, Paulie has pulled some of our great moments from all the way back 6 years ago, 5 years ago, and 4 years ago, 3 years ago, for some fabulous Throwback Thursday moments in Ben and Woods lore. And we'll get to all of that, Woods, coming up next year on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Yeah, sounds good to me. But first and foremost, let me tell my friends out there that are waking up in pain this morning that it doesn't have to be that way. You can go to QC Kinetics if it's pain in your joints and you're not really stoked about going to get surgery on your knee, your back, your shoulder. There is another alternative. There's another option for you. It worked for me. It will always work for me. I will always go to QC Kinetics as long as there is anything wrong with one of my joints. That's the first place I'm going. So you can call, get a free consultation with the medical pros over at QC Kinetics. Thousands of patients like myself that will tell you they wish they would have done it sooner. I didn't know they existed until our rep brought it to me. And I said, okay, at this point, I'm willing to try anything. And I'm so glad that I did. You can even bring your x-rays and MRIs into QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat, thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. The worst case, hey, you learn something new. The best case, you get your life back just like I did. Grab the phone right now. Get back to doing the things that you love to do. Call them. They got locations in Hillcrest and Torrey Hills. 619-614-PAIN. 619-614-PAIN. Once again, 619-614-PAIN. It's QC Kinetics.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
This hour 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by the California Office of Traffic Safety. Just heard in Do This, the Manny Machado interview with JP Morosi. Last night's game was actually the MLB Network game of the week, so I think it's blacked out here in San Diego, but around the rest of the country, if you wanted to watch Padres Giants, you were able to. And I saw that JP did a little sidebar when he was doing his sideline dugout reporting about how the Padres have the easiest remaining schedule now in all of baseball from yesterday's point on. It's really between the Padres and the Dodgers. The two teams kind of have the two easiest schedules remaining, Woods, but the Dodgers have just played 3 of their games against the Rockies, where the Padres still have all 7, I believe, of their remaining games against the Rockies left. And Padres have more home games remaining as well. They're 40-21 at Petco Park this year. Only 31 and 35 away from Petco Park, but that means they have 5 more home games than road games the rest of the season, which when you're playing that well at home, that's also a big advantage for the Padres going forward that you want to keep in mind here in the pennant race.
I mean, easy is such a relative term when it comes to big leaguers and the end of the season and what teams are playing for and who's actually out there. And, those games scare me to death. They really do. And I'm kind of a cautious person in that regard by nature, just because, hey man, we got nothing to lose. Let's let it eat. And pressure builds, right? Pressure builds the closer you get to the playoffs, Benny. And you know that. And, especially when when's the last time we've been in a division race this late, so it's going to be interesting.
The interesting part is the Padres, I believe, have 3 interleague. Well, they have the Mariners coming up. They're good. But then their other 3 interleague series are against 3 of the 4 worst teams in the American League: the Orioles, the Twins, and the White Sox. And the only other team that's in the bottom of those standings in the American League are the A's, who are actually playing really well right now, and the Padres played them early in the season. So you've got 3 of your kind of worst interleague series still remaining, which is why the Padres have that easier strength of schedule as Paulie's got it on the screen with all the games remaining. Definitely some good opponents. I mean, they still have the Brewers for 3, they got the Mets for 3, the Reds for 3, and the Dodgers for 3, but they also do have some of their lesser opponents on the interleague side still to go the rest of this season.
Yeah, man. Let's go one game at a time. Try to beat the Giants today and see what happens. But a couple things. Last night, Fernando goes up, makes that brilliant catch, then leads off the bottom half of the inning with a double, ends up coming around to score. Was your initial thought then, what can we get for him in the open market?
It was not.
Okay, all right. I just want to double check after yesterday's trying to trade Nick Pivetta after his brilliant start. So I'm not backing off that it's something that I think is at least going to be thought of during the offseason. You listen. I think you do listen in the offseason on Nick Pivetta.
as you do on any player who's potentially going to be a free agent within a year.
Well, now I'm not going to feel bad about embarrassing you. Hey, Woods, do you want to see what Ben looked like trying to do the pop-up from Fernando, sitting like legs spread out, back up against the wall,
against the wall.
Somehow like tucks his feet in and just pops up like some sort of magical creature.
I don't think I tucked my feet in enough.
Some crazy squat. There it. Okay.
It's
impossible.
It was so difficult.
You look like a fish
out of water. Yes,
like a fish that was just. And you're even using the wall too, and you still can't get up.
No.
Holy smokes!
But you couldn't do it either. I promise you. It's like it feels like it should be physically impossible to do that.
How did he do that?
So easily too, just smooth.
It's incredible. He's just an incredible athletic specimen who would have been good.
I'm watching your side by side, and it is as stark of a difference as there could ever be. Yeah, you look like one of the elderly in one of those videos. Like, use Lifeline. Press your
life
button.
alert.
They always have like the old lady
I've fallen and I can't get up.
It's the old lady doing her best Joe Davis, like the laying on the ground. It is it's crazy. No, he does not cross his legs.
No, I don't think Tatis did. If he did, that would be.
He just look. They're wide, and then he just
like
pops up.
I don't know how he does it.
He has spring in his butt or something. It is no, you don't. He doesn't cross his legs. I'm serious. Does he? No.
I think he crosses his feet just a little bit.
His feet just a hair.
Yeah,
he's unreal, man. He is unbelievable. So again, let's. Yeah, Benny. Thanks for trying that. I just wanted to see what it looked like from a different perspective.
It looks good. Looks good.
It looks really good. You look great. It looks really, really good. Thanks for filming that. Paulie, you were filming it in the studio. I was blocked by a computer monitor, so I couldn't see what was going on. So I'm glad I got to see the video finally.
All right, let's check traffic, and then when we come back, we're going to celebrate 3 show moments from this week in Ben and Wood's history on a Throwback Thursday. That's coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. Got a collision on eastbound 78 near Twin Oaks Valley Road. That's over to the right shoulder. Several vehicles involved. Before you hit the beach, the mountains, or even the 5 this Labor Day weekend, be road trip ready with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment needed. Stay in your car while they change your oil and check your tires, battery, and fluids. Coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
As Paulie said earlier, we think we might be able to make Woods tear up a little bit on this Throwback Thursday, but we're going to save that one for last, and we're going to start.
We'll laugh before we cry.
Apparently, there's something about, the month of August, this time in the baseball season, that just makes people want to sing on Ben and Woods, because back in 2022, we had a special visit in studio by one Mark Mudcat Grant, who just decided it was time to start unloading some show tunes on us. You remember this, Woods?
By the way, Grease, probably one of the better musicals ever written.
Yeah.
And just a great story, great songs.
God, I hate musicals.
So
except for that
do you
one.
really?
Yeah,
I just
really
love,
do.
By the way, speaking of musicals, and I'll end on this, I watched La La Land about a week ago.
Good one.
So good.
Very good movie.
So good.
We're here. We're there. We're everywhere. I can't do.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
sing your
You know what?
dialogue.
And when I leave here and drive back to Alpine, I'm going to stop on the ramp and just get out of my car and just get on
It's a beautiful day. God.
You know, you could sing the
Love it.
baseball game tonight.
Love it.
I dare you to bust out some sing-song tonight.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the
Days of summer.
plain and the
Days
waving
of
wheat.
summer.
Kiss your smells sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. Oklahoma, every night, my honey lamb and I sit alone and talk and watch a hawk making lazy circles in the sky.
I mean,
good night, everybody.
What do we do? We're never going to top that.
No, we have Mud singing Oklahoma show tunes in studio. Pretty much we should retire.
You're doing fine, Oklahoma, Oklahoma, O-K-L-A-H-O-M-A, Oklahoma! Yeah!
Save some of those pipes for tonight.
Summer loving, had me a blast. Summer loving, happened so fast. I met a girl crazy for me.
I met a boy, cute as can be.
Summer loving, the summer night. So tell me more. Tell me more. Did you get very far?
God, this is right at the end of the show. That's how the music's
Oh,
playing.
God.
He's
All of us
unbelievable.
trying to sing Summer Lovin' and forgetting the words at the same time got me.
We need to get him back. We need to get him back in studio. In studio ASAP.
That was just a phoner, and he was driving around. He's like, "You want me to just come by the studio?" We're like, "Yes."
Yes, we do.
He's got a good
Mudley.
singing voice, too.
He does. He's got a good voice, man. 100%. That was amazing. That was so good. I let me tell you, I had completely forgotten about that.
Pretty
completely.
great.
That was that at 1090?
No,
No,
it was
it's
here.
right here.
It was 3 years
Right
ago.
here. Yeah, right here in
3 years
2022.
ago. All right.
Oh, where the wind comes sweeping
That's
down
enough.
the
Yeah,
plain.
see, here's the problem. I still hate musicals, and I still, even when Mud sings them, I still hate them. Even though it's a great bit.
What about Ben
I'm not a
singing?
fan.
What about Ben singing Yacht Rock?
So it's always been I would love to have a better singing voice. I have a good voice, but I can't quite hit the notes the way I would like to. And Woods sometimes makes me try on the radio, which is very embarrassing. And it was 6 years ago in 2019. As Paulie points out, I like listening to the Yacht Rock. The Doobie Brothers are one of my favorites, and one of my all-time favorite songs by the Doobie Brothers is What a Fool Believes, which requires a range that I just don't have, but didn't stop me from trying 6 years ago.
I still can't believe we got you to try
Yeah, I
to do
know.
this. I mean, this was 2 months into our show here at 97.3 The Fan, and one of our most lasting moments in the show.
Okay,
Just kind of feel it in your nose.
This is terrifying. This is actually terrifying.
It's
for me.
terrifying to sing on the radio.
But I will do my best.
All right, here we go.
Bring it up for me, Paul.
She had a place in his life.
Okay.
He never made her think twice.
All right.
As he rises to her apology, anybody else would surely know.
Still waiting on the falsetto.
He's watching her go.
Here it comes.
But what a fool believes. He sees the wise man has the power.
See, I can't.
That's my favorite thing I've ever heard in my
So
life.
good.
I can't do it.
That was good.
Just can't hit that one.
Oh, man.
That was really well done, actually.
That
Really
is-
well done.
That is one of my favorite moments of all time on this show.
When he hits the what a fool believes, he just gets after it. That's
And what a
fantastic.
fool believes. He sees the wise man has the power.
You got to leave yourself some room, I've learned. You can't, because there's only so far you can go. And if you hit the highest note and you know you've got two more notes higher to give, there's nowhere left to go. All right, finally.
Man, that was good.
Finally, Woods.
I'm sweaty.
This
I'm
one's
sweaty right
for
now.
you in particular. We are going back. This was August of the pandemic.
August 20th, 2020.
In the Corona Cave.
How
when-
old would Bo have been then? 2 years old? 2020?
Corona Cave, yeah, about 2 years old. 2020? Yeah, 2.
August 2020. So, 2 years old.
He came with you one morning. He was in the Corona Cave with us. And you're going to die how little he sounds.
I started tearing up when I heard this
This
audio.
is going to get me.
But, we started talking some Padres baseball. When you have Bo Woods, he's a great guest to talk some Padres baseball. Here's this clip.
Say hi, everyone.
Hi, Bobo.
Say hi, Paul.
He can't hear you. There he
There it
is.
is. Good boy.
That was nice.
You want to do the Padres lineup like you did last night?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Jake,
No.
Eric,
Woods.
No, not Eric. What's
Eric Ha.
Small.
Will.
Who did I say that?
Will.
Miles.
Yep. Manny.
Manny.
Fernando.
Tatis.
Very good.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That is a smart kid
Well done, sir.
that you've got right there.
That is
So small.
it's hard, dude. It's hard to listen to. Little baby. Yeah, you're gonna get me.
Now he's a second
Man,
grader.
that's sweet. Second grader, just as grown up as can possibly be. Grown up as can possibly be. Sounds like a teenager almost. Yeah, he called me yesterday from his. I called him on his little watch phone, that he has, and he goes, "Hey, Dad, I'm going to call you back." I was, "Oh, excuse me. All right, social engagement. I didn't mean to bother you." And I go, "This is a harbinger of things to come. Like I'll be having to track that kid down." Yeah, Dad, let me call you back. Oh, okay. And I texted him. I go, "What's he doing?" He's like, "He's playing with his friends." So already shoved to the side. I think he's probably on his way to school right now. So if you're listening, buddy, Daddy loves you. See you tomorrow, my friend.
All right, we've got 2 hours
great.
still remaining, and then a roundtable to talk more Padres baseball this morning. But don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for our Manager's Report with Mike Schilt. Right here on Bennett Woods, the Manager's Report is refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. Still to come, plenty of giveaways. We got a game of real or fake, chance to qualify for Las Vegas. And one more time, Ben's Big Box with Padres Dodgers tickets for tomorrow night up for grabs. All ahead here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we are halfway home on a Thursday. Ben and Woods, 97.3. The Fan. Great to be here with all of you guys, even the mean ones. Seen some mean comments today, DMs and whatnot. Hey, you're well. Thanks for listening, I guess is all I can say to that. I'm Woodsy. Paul Reindl's the EP, the executive producer of the program. And Ben Higgins, excuse me, I'm getting over this sickness. Ben Higgins is your friendly neighborhood sports anchor.
Kendry Morales with a home run. Vladimir Guerrero had 2 hits along, along the way.
If you
Angels batting order.
If you're going to be sick, is there a better place to be sick than in the care of your mother?
It's a really good point.
Tell everybody
really
what she
good
did
point.
for you this morning, Woods.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and got in the shower and came out here, and she called me and she said, I'm on my way to Whataburger. Did you want something? I said, oh, God, yes, please. Because, listen, I know the debate between Whataburger burgers and In-N-Out and all that, it rages on. It's the lowest quality radio there is, so we won't do it. In-N-Out is far superior burger, but the breakfast at Whataburger is my favorite. Told you many times. And so I told her I would like 1 potato, egg, and cheese taquito and a biscuit with jelly. And sure enough, man, about 5:30, she walks in on a plate, gives me my taquito and my biscuit, and is taking really good care of me, even though I'm supposed to be home taking care of them. I have gone out and picked up dinner, for them, and they just. There's nothing I can really do, so I'm just here. I'm trying to do the old proverbial lift the spirits, and everyone's been super happy to have me home. I got to see my grandmother, who is like 90 years old, still lives on her own, takes care of herself. Going to see my uncle today. And it's been great.
It's a little different for me now. Obviously, my boys, they still live at home, but at 22 and 20, you're not providing the constant level of care, parenting that you used to. But in the last couple of days, as everyone knows, my son has been sick and in the hospital and out. So I've kind of had to step up a little bit. And yesterday I did what I feel like is one of the most satisfying things you can do as a parent. I made him a perfect grilled cheese sandwich. And I take a lot of pride in making a good grilled cheese sandwich. And he ate it and he goes, that really tasted good. And you feel like a super dad when you make a good grilled cheese sandwich for your kid. Well, don't really have the wherewithal here to make grilled cheese sandwiches in the Odyssey building.
Well, we go to fantasy camp and spring training every year.
If you'd like me to make you grilled cheese sandwiches at fantasy camp next year, I would happily do so.
No, I think that lets Adam and Michael off the hook for having to pay for our expensive dinner. So absolutely not. Absolutely not. The grilled cheese is it's an art form, and I'm pretty good at it. My kids would probably tell you I'm better than Hannah at it. But she did text me the other night. I said, what are you doing? The kids are having dinner. I said, what did they have? She said, my specialty. And I said, oh, quesadillas. And she said, no, I'm not a monster. I made them grilled cheese. Then I said, oh, okay. So cheese between a tortilla or bread is her specialty. And I'd say it's mine too, Benny. So is that – go ahead.
Yeah, well, D1115 asked, what's my recipe? I feel like I have to share now how I make my grilled cheeses. Sure. So use usually 2 pieces of sourdough bread because my kids enjoy sourdough. I then soften the butter, which I spread on the outside generously of both pieces. Put it into a pan set to around 4 on the grill setting, and then put 3 slices of Colby Jack, not American, but I like the Colby Jack in the middle of the bread. And then I smash it down with a spatula and then put a lid on top to help melt the cheese, and then flip it after about 2 minutes, do the other side, and then do a couple more flips as the cheese continues to melt at the end. And it always seems to turn out perfectly golden and delicious every single time.
Yeah, it sounds like a good one. I like Colby Jack cheese. I don't like it in a grilled cheese. I like the old standard Kraft American singles in there. The super healthy, all natural Kraft American singles. They have that little cup of milk on the package. Like, we use
this much
1 cup of milk. Yes, exactly. And I've been buying into that since I was a kid. So at least I'm getting my milk for the day. But other than that, that sounds pretty delicious. I usually just use standard honey wheat bread. It's weird. I put my butter in the pan first, and then I maneuver the bread around with my hand like a chef, and then I flip it, and I maneuver it around to get it kind of covered there. I think spreading the butter on the sandwich bread on both sides is too much butter for me personally. So I do a little bit, I do a little bit in the pan and then I spread it around.
I've seen a couple people in the chat saying you got to use mayo instead of butter.
I've heard that.
I don't believe in that. I understand that it is an accepted technique of grilled cheeses, but I think the butter is absolutely key to give it that, just that buttery flavor that I like more than a mayo-y flavor.
No, you like sandwiches out there?
Yeah. Question is, Moot says, Colby Jack, you're a monster. I'm sorry. I like it, just a touch of sharpness in my cheese.
It's a little tart. I was just going to say, it's a little bit tart for me with the grilled cheese. I like more of kind of the American flavor. I don't like cheddar in mine at all, ever. It's just too tangy and too tart.
A sharp cheddar doesn't necessarily melt as well, so you need something mixed in there. The Jack and the Colby Jack, I think, helps the melty ratio. Obviously, the American melts really, really well, but I just think it's so bland as the centerpiece of your grilled cheese.
We could do a grilled cheese off when we go to fantasy camp. Always looking for ideas for content. I'm sure that would slay when we were out there. But,
taste test.
Yeah, taste test. Wanted to do a quick birthday shout out to McKee 23 in our chat. Thank you so much. Definitely there every day and weighing in with your hot Padres take. So happy birthday to you. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, so I'm just going to say happy birthday, a general happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Just gender neutral birthday wishes.
That's right.
So I was just scrolling during the break. ESPN has they come out with their power rankings, I think, every Thursday, and Padres are 7th, which doesn't really matter at this point in the season, but it's the comments that I wanted to bring up because this was Bradford Doolittle who wrote, "The question for October remains. When the playoffs arrive and the ability to string together hits becomes more challenging, will a shortfall of home runs prove to be San Diego's fatal flaw?" We talked about this a little yesterday. Tom Verducci wrote about how the Padres and the Brewers in particular are not set up offensively well for the playoffs because they don't hit enough home runs. Did yesterday's game, Woods, give you any extra confidence? 4 home runs. Of course, 2 of them were from Gavin Sheets, who I still don't necessarily see being a regular in the lineup during the postseason. So you can't really count on a lot of Gavin Sheets home runs, but Ryan O'Hearn went deep, and of course, Manny Machado went deep, which I think might be the most important sign of all from yesterday's 8-1 win. Do the Padres have enough power? Are you starting to see it after the newcomers have arrived?
I mean, yeah, more than we had, certainly. And what would those numbers look like if we had boppers like that, or really if the boppers on our team were bopping, in the first half of the season? We wouldn't be at 29th out of 30th, and I think we're still at 29th out of 30th in the major leagues at home runs, even with last night's 4 home runs. Notwithstanding, I think, it's something that's been, look, anything can happen in the playoffs. It's wild because you'll hear all of the pundits spending the next, as soon as we get to the playoffs, you'll hear the word crapshoot more than you've ever heard it in your entire life. I bet you Eno Sarris says it today. He said it last week on his appearance here on Ben and Woods. All of the pundits will say it. But the one thing that they all kind of swear by is that power in the playoffs is what gets it done. So is it a crapshoot, or do you need a lot of power?
I was having this discussion with my buddy yesterday. Which playoff is the most representative of the season, and which one is the biggest crapshoot? And we both agreed baseball is kind of the most random postseason of the 4 main ones. We thought basketball generally is the one that kind of ends up with the most likely champion with the 7-game series and how basketball just works. Football we thought was second, even though it's just one and done. It feels like it's a more legitimate champion, and hockey somewhere in the middle. But baseball is, to me, the postseason that makes the least correlation to what we saw in the regular season.
Yeah, I agree. I guess I didn't always feel that way back in maybe the 90s, and then maybe even in the 2010s when you did see teams winning multiple World Series, the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Giants, certainly. Now it's almost a different champion every single year. And so, the crap shootiness of it all is enough to make you insane because, who's hot, who's pitching well, who's hitting well. But the one thing, Benny, that they all say, every single pundit, that you ask is you got to be able to slug in October. And I think that's what Padres fans are probably fearing the most, because if you get a clunker from your starter with the bullpen that we have with guys like, David Morgan, Yuki Matsui, Wandy Peralta, Ron Marinaccio could come up. Fine. You clunk one in the playoffs, no big deal. If you don't score and you don't hit doubles and you don't hit home runs, it's going to be hard because you're facing buzzsaw almost every day. And then they're super pens as well. So it's very specialized. Everybody's got a defined role out of the bullpen. Guys will come in, they'll do the 3-batter minimum. You saw Dave Roberts work it last year. You saw those guys. Many of those guys are injured now because they pitched so deep into the playoffs and so many innings and so many high leverage innings. Like, that's the crapshoot nature of the playoffs.
If you wanted to determine the best team, the playoffs is actually the worst way to do it. Just a reminder, the Baseball Talk on the Fan, presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. In English soccer, they don't even have playoffs. The team that wins the regular season is the champion. In the old days of baseball, Woods, you'd have one winner from the American League, one from the National League, and they'd play in a 9-game World Series. Now, that's
wow.
That at the very least kind of, you can say, all right, if you won 5 out of 9 games, you kind of determined the dominance. The way they do it now, though, with a best-of-3 wildcard series, that doesn't tell you who the better team is. It absolutely cannot possibly tell you who in the long run is the better team over a 3-game wildcard series. Same with a 5-game division series. You cannot determine a better baseball team in a span of 5 games. In 7, a little bit better, but if they really wanted to determine a champion that had something to do with the actual way baseball is played over the summer, yeah, you'd need like 9 or best of 11 series between teams before you were really getting a large enough sample size where you could compare the two teams, see which one's deeper, better rotation, better staff. In the playoffs, you're only using your best players. You're only using your best relievers. And it always comes down to which guy ran into a home run at the right time with guys on base. And that determines a couple of games, and it's over. It doesn't really determine who the best baseball team is in the short run.
How long before Roger Goodell and the NFL think, there's a lot on the line in the NFL playoffs to just have one game. I mean, any given Sunday, right? And the Super Bowl's like a best of 7. It takes 2 months.
Dude, I'll tell you one thing I would be in favor of, and I would sign up for it today. And Eric Rutner, if you're listening, turn the radio down. A shorter season. I would be in favor of a 142-game season and expanded playoffs in Major League Baseball. I know that teams rake in money during the playoffs. So what you'd be giving up in, 10 home games, you may be able to make back and then some in the playoffs. I just think 142, you knock 20 games off of it, you knock 10 games off of spring training, and expand the playoffs. Benny, go 5-7-7-7, right?
Well, they could do it with. We talked yesterday about the potential expansion and realignment that's coming to Major League Baseball. If you're reinventing the schedule, that gives you an opportunity to reinvent how many games you play in the regular season and the postseason. You can start from scratch essentially and say, yeah, we did it this way for so many years, but what's the best way to do this? And is there a better way? If you're going to get rid of like the American and the National Leagues and go with a Western and an Eastern Conference, like radical realignment, go ahead, radically change the game. You already did it with a pitch clock, with some rule changes recently that have been very successful. Maybe this is the refresh that baseball has needed, and we will actually enjoy if they do that.
As much as I love the game, and I love it, and I love having 162 nights planned every single year of what I'm going to do, I could manage with 140 nights or 142. It's still a buttload of games. It's a buttload of games. The playoffs are intense. They're spectacular. I live for them. But now, the dog days of August, Ben, then become the stretch. Like, we're grinding hard through August. In September, this is when it goes. How many games are we at right now today? The Padres have played.
I believe they have played 127 games.
Is that right? 127. So imagine having 13 regular season games left to go, and then the playoffs start. I think it would be a really, really cool thing. And I wonder, the players would probably really love fewer regular season games. They probably would. It's a lot.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, it's Throwback Thursday. You heard the clips earlier. Now we're going to play a Throwback Thursday game of real or fake. It's your chance to qualify for our getaway trip to Las Vegas, but we do need a contestant. If you'd like to call in right now, 833-288-0973. We'll put some callers on hold. We'll pick one when we come back to play our game of real or fake, and then Eno Sarris will join us at the bottom of the hour, writing about Fernando Tatis Jr. and talking some smart baseball. All ahead with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First up, though, I get to talk about SDFatLoss.com. I got on the scale this morning, and the weight continues to stay off. 2 years after I went through the SDFatLoss.com program, I have kept the entire 40 pounds in 60 days off that I lost. You can lose up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in those 60 days, and you don't need to exercise. You're not getting any surgery. You're not even getting those injections. And here's why. SDFatLoss.com wants you to keep the weight off. If you rely on injections, or if you rely on eating like 4 bars a day instead of meals, you're never going to keep that off, because you're not going to keep doing that for the rest of your life. And once you stop, the weight will likely come right back on. You can lose the weight, but can you keep it off? With SDFatLoss.com, it's based on real food. So you're going to the grocery store, you're developing some good eating habits that they will coach you up and make it possible for you to lose the weight quickly, but then keep it off when you are done. Absolutely. Get a free consultation and find out how it can work for you by going to SDFatLoss.com and take advantage right now in the month of August. You can get $200 off while you're changing your life for the better. My back pain, gone. My knee pain, gone. Thanks to the weight loss at SDFatLoss.com. Check it out today. SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Just ran into Adam Klug, came by. He was kind of mad.
Oh, he's at work.
Well, yeah, I suggested earlier that I haven't seen him around all week. And he said, well, you left early on Tuesday. And I said, yes, that is true. And he said yesterday he had the walkthrough at his new house, which went well, and he's very excited. Adam, homeowner in San Diego, congratulations to the Klug family. And he also came in to discuss the Padres batting order and Luis Arraez and Ryan O'Hearn. He just can't let it go. And
I propose a two-man roundtable, Ben v. Adam, because the text conversation that Woods and I just happened to be bystanders of last night. Good God.
Here's the problem.
You guys were just going back and forth for hours.
I'm not the biggest Luis Arraez defender in town. I don't think he should be batting second, especially against left-handed pitchers. But I will acknowledge that when Luis Arraez gets 3 hits in a game, he's helping you win. And he has more 3-hit games than anybody else in Major League Baseball. So if you have him in the right night, absolutely Luis Arraez can be a winning baseball player. The problem is he's had too many 0-hit games, like last night. Another 0 for 4 for Luis Arraez. And when he's hitting 287 or whatever he's hitting right now and not walking and not hitting for power, he's just not that good of an offensive player, especially not one that's playing every single day that high in a lineup for a playoff contending team. A team that thinks it can win a World Series should not, I believe, have Luis Arraez that high in the order on an everyday basis.
Well, I agree with you.
Right.
I agree with you.
Well, we'll talk about it on the
Adam,
roundtable.
All right, you guys talk about it on the round.
And Mike Schilt has his reasons that he wants to stick with his lineup, and we'll see how long that those reasons, continue. It doesn't mean he's an idiot that he's doing it that way. He absolutely knows what he's doing, and I'd like Padres fans to trust their skipper that he's got a plan and he puts a lot of thought into these things more than you do, more than I do. But at this point, unless Arraez gets hot again and has one of those streaks where he's hitting, 420, and then fine. Yeah, you want him up as often as possible. But right now, he's not in one of those streaks. And I don't think he's helping your team offensively by hitting second every night. We'll get into it in the roundtable even more coming up this morning at 10 o'clock. Right now, though, Throwback Thursday, it is time to play some real or fake.
Some are here for the compelling sports talk with Ben and Woods. Yeah, you can go plow through another donut. It's time for Real or Fake on 97.3 The Fan. Tell the people what they'll win today.
First, I'll tell you, Real or Fake, brought to you by Bay Alarms, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. And I got to pick someone. Let's go with, let's go line 2. Everybody ready? Say hi to Doug.
Doug.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Doug, you ready to play a little Real or Fake?
All right.
All right. If you can win, that means getting at least 4 correct. You will qualify for our grand prize drawing at the end of the month. A 2-night stay at Resorts World Las Vegas, 2 VIP expedited admission passes to the AU Day Club, and a $175 food and beverage credit. Check it out this summer. No resort fees, complimentary parking, and special summer rates available at rwlasvegas.com. All right, yesterday was National Radio Day. Guys, happy National Radio Day to you yesterday. And in honor of our industry, I've come up with a radio-themed edition of Real or Fake. So, Doug, I have a list here of every sportscaster and sports radio host inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame. I will give you a name. You tell me if they are a real member of the Radio Hall of Fame or a fake who has not been inducted. Got it?
Got it.
You'd think Woods might be able to help you here, but I'm not sure how much he knows about the Radio Hall of Fame, but you're welcome to phone a friend if you need some help. All right, round 1, Doug. Real or fake Radio Hall of Famer? Jim Rome, real or fake?
Oh, he's still alive, so real.
Real, he says. The answer is real. Yes, Jim Rome inducted, I believe, a couple of years ago into the Radio Hall of Fame.
Woods.
Yes, there he is. Radio Hall of Famer himself. All right, that's 1. You need 3 more correct. Let's go round number 2. Chris Mad Dog Russo. Real or fake Radio Hall of Famer?
Phone a friend.
Woodsy, what do you think?
I'm going to say, dude, he's like the pioneer of it. Yes, real.
He says real. What do you say? Doug?
Let's do it. Real is real.
Real. And he is correct. Once again, that is 2 for 2. Very good. All right, round number 3, Doug. Southern California sports talk legend, Lee Hacksaw Hamilton. Real or fake Radio Hall of Famer?
I love Lee. Real.
No, unfortunately, the song has not gotten him. Yeah, that's the problem. He has not been inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame. That's okay. That's just 2 right, 1 wrong. Let's go to round number 4.
He should be. He absolutely should be.
I mean, dude.
How about Dan Patrick? Real or fake Radio Hall of Famer? Dan Patrick.
Dan's awesome. God. If he's not, he should be. I might have to go real.
No doubt.
Go real? Oh,
yeah, gotta be real.
Yeah, he is in the Radio Hall of Fame. Very good. All right, that's 3 correct. 1 more and you win. How about this one? Former Padres play-by-play announcer Jerry Coleman. Real or fake Radio Hall of Famer? The Colonel, Jerry Coleman.
Jerry's got to be real.
Yes, he is. Very well done. Doug, you have qualified with a game of real or fake. You know your stuff. Very impressive. Hang on the line, Paulie. Will get your information, put you into the drawing for Las Vegas. Woods, how about Bob Uecker?
Real.
Real, absolutely. And then finally, Colin Coward.
Fake.
That is fake. Very good, Woods. All right, we did well. Happy National Radio Day.
Happy National Radio. And, Hacksaw and I have butted heads over the years, for sure. But he absolutely belongs in the
I think so,
Sports
too,
Radio
actually.
Hall of Fame. 100%.
Baseball, it's opening day. It's history, color, pageantry, day-night doubleheaders, and bobbleheads. Baseball, it's the president, Truman, Ike, Nixon, JFK throwing out the first pitch.
I tend to agree. I think that it's long
There's no
overdue.
question.
An absolute pioneer on the East Coast you had like Mike and the Mad Dog, but here you had Lee Hacksaw Hamilton, and he should be in the National Radio Hall of Fame for sure.
How does one?
I have no idea.
How does one do it?
I
Does
don't
he
know.
submit it, or does he need to submit?
I mean, they
or-
have new inductees every year. I'm not sure how you're nominated or what the process
Right now,
is.
today, we're offering you 5 classes for $50 at Club Pilates. San
There's
Diego's
nothing better.
premier Pilates studio, Club Pilates, offers the most Pilates classes and reformer classes in San Diego. Conveniently located off Marina Boulevard, right in the heart of San Diego.
That should be a Hall of Fame. I mean, that's a Hall of Fame read right there.
When you set the record for the word Pilates in a spot, then you have to get in. You have to get in. Sand Cactus Man thinks I'm trolling. I'm not trolling. On my soul, he absolutely should be in.
I
There's
think so.
no
I really do.
question. No question. None whatsoever. On God, he should absolutely be in the Sports Radio Hall of Fame. No
we
question.
have fun with ourselves. We're allowed to have fun with Saw and also think that he belongs in the Radio Hall of Fame. I hope Woods
100%
ends up in the Radio Hall of Fame one day.
Never.
You've got the
Never.
breadth of both music and now sports talk
No,
radio.
no.
I think you're well on your way to a Hall of Fame radio career, buddy.
C20 says, "Why do Lee like that?" I'm literally saying he should be in the Hall of Fame. He
That's
won
the most praise you've ever given anybody.
On my children, he should be in the Hall of Fame. There's no question. I'm not. My fingers aren't crossed. I swear to God,
He does. He thinks
So,
that,
yeah.
as do I. We both think that.
I absolutely
should
do.
start
I'm
a
not an
cam-
idiot.
We should
Like,
start a national campaign to try to get Saw into the Radio Hall
You
of Fame.
just heard the best 15 minutes of radio.
Jimmy Jam, you can hear the jealousy in Woods' voice when it comes to now you guys are trolling me. I swear to God on my children's lives, he should be it, man. He is unbelievable. And is just when you're one of the first to do it, dude, you have to be it. You have to.
All right, we got to move
So
on,
good.
though, because we got Eno Sarris coming up in our next segment, talking Tatis, talking power, talking smart baseball, all coming up next year on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Oh, man. All right. If you're trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month, stop right now. At Loan Pronto, they're delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Their rate reduction home loan program, it's streamlined. It's a low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. You guys know what a refi is, right? Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR. Close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. How about skipping your next 2 house payments entirely? Don't wait. Rates this low will not last. So call Loan Pronto today for your free no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is incredible. Lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 619-207-4336 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate. Skip those next 2 payments. They make it really easy for you. Don't let high rates hold you back. Call 619-207-4336 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
It's Thursday. That means we got some smart baseball with Eno Sarris coming up. He's standing by, so let's get right to traffic, and then we'll chat with Eno from The Athletic next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. Got a crash on northbound 5 before East Street. Tow truck is helping to clear this one. Meanwhile, get that right lane blocked. Before you hit the beach, the mountains, or even the 5 this Labor Day weekend, be road trip ready with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment needed. Stay in your car while they change your oil and check your tires, battery, and fluids. Coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's time for the super polished, yet to be named Smart Baseball Weekly segment with Eno Sarris, son of a bitch. Brought to you by 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from the ballpark, by the bay in Chula Vista. Here's Eno Sarris with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Always nice to say good morning to Eno on a Thursday. Hello, Eno. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Now, this is kind of a chicken and an egg thing, but you wrote a real nice piece going into depth about Fernando Tatis Jr.'s lack of slug, lack of home runs. But, of course, we talked about it in the last couple of weeks when you came on. Did we help inspire your detailed column on Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Yeah. I mean, you guys were asking about it, and I got some questions on social media, too. And I've been watching these games, and I think that the team is in really good shape across the board, and the one missing kind of thing is slugging, and the guy that could be slugging more is Tatis. So I wanted to look into it.
And you wonder, too. You hear a lot about the Padres and how they've changed their approach, and Victor Rodriguez is quoted, a lot in this article, talking about the approach. And I think about, driving the ball to the opposite field, letting it travel, all of that. You've made the point over the years that the best way to hit home runs at Petco Park is to pull the ball. And, obviously you'd be sacrificing walks, strikeouts, if you're really trying to yak one down the line, if you're Fernando Tatis Jr. At this point in the season, does it behoove him to make any changes? Because it seems like he's been tinkering all year.
Yeah, there was some speculation. And first of all, my piece is not a hit piece because, I have a lot of
we didn't take it that way.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best players in the big leagues. And when you take, the base running, the walks, the contact, the elite defense, and he is still the way he is now, he's still 28% better than league average with a stick. So he's still a really good player. But, even post suspension, he's had a level of power that's higher than this. And so I thought, it would be worth looking into. And I do think that it's really a matter of inches. And I don't know if it's necessarily to have a pull mindset. But what happens with your swing when you're out in front of the plate is that just think about a swing when you start at the top, with your hands high, and then you kind of swing through, and then you finish up high, over your shoulder, right? And so the further along the swing you are towards the end, the more it's going to be coming up a little bit. And so what batters have found, what we found from research, is that the best place for contact is when your swing is flat. So that's about 30 inches in front of your body. The best place for power is 6 inches further along, 36 inches in front of your body, because that's when the bat starts to come up a little bit and you lift it. So it's not so much about pulling as it is about lifting. And he has the worst ground ball rate of his career, and he's letting the ball travel to the point where he's getting it at 27 inches. That's not even the ideal place for contact, which is 30 inches. And I compared him to people who have the exact same type of swing that he does in terms of tilt and bat speed. And the guys who made contact 3+ inches out further in front of him all slugged better, lifted better, had better power numbers, had better overall numbers. So I do think that letting the ball travel, the hard part is this: if you think I need to go get the ball, then yes, you might strike out more. You might make some bad decisions because you might need to make the decision earlier. You might yank it into the ground. You might do some bad things. So I have sympathy to the coach when he says, thinking about driving the ball to the opposite field is the best way to think at the plate. But I don't know, just in terms of what the numbers say, he should get the ball out further in front than he's getting it right now.
I think that's so fascinating because, and Woods, you can back me up here. We hear all the time, whether it's Tatis or Manny especially, they're locked in when they're driving the ball to right center field. We hear that for years now. The best version of those guys is when you see them hitting those real hard, sharp liners to the right center field gap, they're locked in at the plate. Is that just wrong then when people say that?
I think it's about mechanics versus, analytics, I guess, because I think when you're driving the ball to the opposite field like that, you're keeping your front shoulder closed and you're not flying open. When you fly open, I think you hit soft grounders or you roll it over to the pull side. And so mechanically, that's the smart thing to do. If there's a way to keep those mechanics, but just shift the timing. I guess that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about timing. So I'm Tatis, get that swing going. And I'm talking about a millisecond. So it's a little bit about intent. Can I still keep this philosophy that I'm trying to hit as the opposite field, but go get the ball, just go get the ball. That would be kind of a cue I would give. It's let's try tonight that you go get that ball.
Interesting, man. Yeah, I heard something years ago that kind of changed my whole life. And anytime I hit, they said oppo is a state of mind, right? It's a state of mind. It's not, Manny's not trying to hit that ball into that gap, but it's a state of mind. If I'm on it, if I, like you said, stay closed and stay through it, that's where it will go. And if you do get to it a millisecond earlier with that swing, that ball's gone. It's 475 down the line. It's really a state of mind. You're not trying to necessarily go over there. And I it's just hard, man. Hitting is just the hardest thing to do on the planet. And especially when you're in your head about it, you're having a good season and you're up there thinking about a millisecond. It can really kind of screw you up, and I wanted to ask you too, we were talking earlier about I said I bet the over under on Eno saying the word crapshoot when you talk about the playoffs, he'll say it because that's what everybody says come October. But one thing that you and everybody agree on, you have to slug to win in the playoffs. So it's not really a crapshoot in that sense. Like, you have to be able to do that. Is that what your analysis and research has shown?
Oh yeah, I think it's like a 750 win percentage if you out homer your opponent in the playoffs. You know, so power is important. One thing that is interesting though is that strikeout rate becomes slightly more important in the playoffs. You know, when you're looking at correlations between strikeout rate and winning, it becomes slightly more important in the playoffs. And I think it's because you're facing even better opponents. And so a team that doesn't strike out that much can at least, you know, put some balls in play. And, you know, the run environment is lower in the playoffs because the pitchers are better. And so if you think about it, like, you know, there's like 2 or 3 runs can win a playoff game more often than it can win a regular season game. So I think the team is built well, and I like that they're so good at strikeout rate. It's just being 25th in slugging as a team. You know, I think that's the place that they want improvement. And, you know, getting Romo and Laureano and getting Ryan O'Hearn was a good step towards that as well.
Talking to Eno Sarris from The Athletic. Last thing for me, you know, you mentioned Fernando Tatis Jr.'s elite defense, and he's won a Platinum Glove. He's first in defensive runs saved, but only 13th in outs above average. What is your view on defensive metrics, the differences between them, how accurate they are in determining who the best fielders are?
Yeah, the thing about outs above average is there's parts that aren't being considered. So I think it's better to use the StatCast fielding runs because that's more all-encompassing. Outs above average is very particular to certain plays in the outfield. It basically says, you know, here's where you started, here's where the ball is, you know, how valuable, like how fast did you run, did you catch it, you know, like that sort of stuff. Like, you know, how likely was it that you caught that ball and did you catch the ball? That's outs above average. Fielding runs from StatCast includes, like, did you throw it in well? You know what I mean? Like, it includes other aspects of the fielding other than just the catch. And so by fielding runs, he's 8th. You know, and yes, by DRS he's number 1. But, you know, it gets a little closer when you start talking about, you know, his elite arm. You know, the outs above average does not have his arm in it. You know, another way of saying it. So in the split, the difference, the real big difference is outs above average and fielding runs, the StatCast numbers, they are just numbers. Like, they're just using start points, end points, the best numbers you can buy, but, like, you know, they're just numbers. DRS is run by Baseball Info Solutions, and they have people watching the games. So they watch plays and they like grade them and say certain things about them, right? And so there are benefits and drawbacks to both. The benefits to just being numbers is you never have a bias. So you never have someone saying, oh, that should have been a hit, or, you know what I mean? Like, trying to make a decision like that. That's really hard. If you've ever watched the game, you can play, is it or is it not an error? You know, and I think, you know, you can find that like, if you're in a room with people, they won't all agree if one play was an error or not, you know? And so but the benefits can be that maybe the human can spot something that the machines didn't spot.
Eno, as always, appreciate it. Good work. If people haven't checked it out, please sign up for The Athletic. Check out Eno Sarris's work every week, including this latest piece on Fernando Tatis Jr. And Eno, we'll talk to you next Thursday.
All right. Thanks for having me.
All right. Eno Sarris, brought to you by 7 Mile Casino, a little smart baseball. And yeah, you're getting a little into the weeds, Woods, on defensive metrics, but I liked what he said. Like, you need a human eye a little bit to tell the difference between what is truly like an amazing play and, you know, what is just a fast guy running down what is kind of a can of corn for him. It makes a big difference.
Well, like C20 says, eye test, how many times do runners test his arm? Not very much.
And they can't put that really in at all because it's like nothing happened, but it was big for the game. All right, we'll come back. Paulie's got a Reindl Report. Sammy Levitt's going to be in studio, and Ben's Big Box one more time ahead. Got something new for us here, Woods? I haven't seen it yet, but sounds like fairly big news for Padres and baseball fans.
Yeah, Andrew Marchand from The Athletic has tweeted, MLB and ESPN have an agreement to make the network the exclusive home of out-of-market games for all teams and in-market for 5 clubs, The Athletic has learned. And when you click on the article, Benjamin, you scroll. Damn it, I got a pop-up ad.
I just opened it up here.
For a Range Rover. Where's the X?
5
Here
clubs.
it is.
I hate when you can't find the X on the pop-up ad. They hide the X sometimes.
Drives me nuts. All right, here we go. The deal is not yet signed, and its full completion is not expected until September. The exact amount ESPN will pay is not known, but it is substantial. MLB and ESPN declined to comment. Now, it says the 5 clubs that are under control from Major League Baseball, the Cleveland Guardians, the Minnesota Twins, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Colorado Rockies, and your San Diego Padres are amongst that group.
It says here, if the deal is signed, ESPN, and by the way, we talked about this yesterday, ESPN's new streaming app that starts today.
Yeah.
So the fact that the announcements and the report, at least here, is coming out all on the same day is not a coincidence. It says, if the deal is signed, ESPN will have the full rights to in and out of market games for 5 teams. Like you said, Guardians, Padres, Twins, Diamondbacks, and Rockies are the clubs under MLB control. Fans would likely need to subscribe to ESPN either directly or through an operator. And then for an added price, they would be able to receive their local team's games. Very similar, I think, is the plan here to how the MLS does it with their package on Apple TV Plus. You pay the monthly, call it $20 a month for Apple TV Plus, but you do have to pay the one-time season pass of, $80. I imagine for Major League Baseball, probably $150 or $200.
Interesting. The question would be, because right now, the way it's produced, Padres.tv, the way MLB does it, if you already subscribe to DirecTV, Spectrum, Cox Cable, you get the Padres games from their Padres.tv feed without paying any extra. I mean,
Channel 83.
You're already paying a lot for your cable, but you don't have to also buy the Padres.tv to get it on your home screens. Does this mean that even if you have cable and ESPN, that everyone is going to have to in the future then buy the ESPN MLB local team package to get your team, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. As I said yesterday, and I speculated that this turned out to be, I think, what Eric Grupner was hinting at last Friday when he joined us and said something big was kind of in the works. Will this now allow all of us to finally really cut the cord because we can get all of our sports through the new ESPN app, and now we can get our local Padres team through there as well, even if it is an extra charge above the ESPN streaming services? It's possible we might be able to save money on this rather than costing us more money.
Well, I mean, I will save a fortune if I can cut cable. You know what I mean? A fortune. Whatever the Padres want to charge, it's not going to be as much as what I pay for cable. And like you talked about yesterday, it's mostly for sports. So that could be an interesting thing. They have not said how much it's going to be. So it's not even really confirmed yet. It's just a breaking news article based on the fact it is wild, man. I literally thought ESPN was just washing its hands of baseball entirely. And boy, what's the opposite of washing your hands? Pooping in your hands, because they are going full in. They are going like all the way in on baseball now.
For people who question, what about the announcing teams? I don't know the answer, although it's always been traditional that teams hire their announcers, not the person or the entity that owns the broadcast system. It was never, Fox Sports. It was never Bally's that hired Don and Mudd. It's not 97.3 The Fan that hires Jesse and Tony. Well, we actually do hire Tony as well, but that's a separate job than the one that he's hired for the Padres games, which is they are operated by the team. So I would imagine the team will continue to choose their broadcasters. So it'll be up to them if, Don and Mudd and want to come back for the television broadcast. It doesn't automatically mean that, Chris Berman is now going to be calling Padres games because they're produced by ESPN. I think that's highly unlikely that something like that would happen.
No, it's going to be Stephen A. Smith and Pat McAfee.
Yeah, Pat McAfee calling Padres games. So buy ESPN and then buy a Pods streaming package too, says Satan's Blowfish. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of No, you don't do that. Not everybody does that. It'll be interesting to see how it shapes up. I'm I need my Padres baseball. If it makes the Padres a player with a TV deal, I'm for it. That's what I want. So I hope it works out. I hope everybody's getting their money, their share of the pie.
All right. Before we break out Ben's big box again, let's get some headlines from Paulie. It is time for a little early edition of the Reindl Report.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul. All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good. Can I get a oh yeah?
All right.
All right. Happy Thursday, gentlemen.
Happy Thursday.
Oh, let me turn Woodsy back up there.
Woods, you've been turned off. Now you can. Now you can
I'm
speak
here.
again.
All
Thank
right.
you.
How you doing, man? I needed you for this story because I figured you were up late last night watching a thrilling finish to the WNBA's Dallas Wings and Los Angeles Sparks. But if you did not catch this, actually a historical night because Paige Beckers for Dallas had a rookie record-setting night. She had the most points by a rookie in WNBA history with 44 points. She got those 44 points on shooting 81% of the field, which is completely unheard of. I was looking at the box score. She went 4 of 4 from 3, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, and then 17 of 21 from the field. Only thing is, they lost on a buzzer beater by Kelsey Plum, and Los Angeles won right at the end. Kelsey Plum just blew past the defenders and just a floater as the clock expired. They were down
Kelsey
1.
Plum.
San Diego's Kelsey Plum, yes. San Diego's Kelsey Plum was actually interviewed right after the game too, and I got some quick funny audio. It was the in-arena, post game. You're still on the court. Kelsey, what was going through your mind on your last shot or whatever? Here's what happened last night at the Sparks game.
I know this is a playoff push, 9-game season for you guys. How do you turn the page and get ready for the next one? Yeah, we got to play some defense.
Whoa.
No holding back there from Kelsey.
Kelsey's a spicy one, no doubt about it. And Paige Beckers is incredible. I know Caitlin Clark deservedly gets so much attention, but she's been hurt most of this season, and it's allowed Paige Beckers to really grab the spotlight in her rookie season because she's an amazing player as well. Little apples and oranges there, but very, very impressive feat.
We will move on.
Why are you talking about her feet?
Feet, F-E-A-T.
You are such a
deviant.
It's an A in that one.
Deviant.
Feet, impressive feet.
Her feet. You like her feet?
I've
Say
never
it.
seen her feet. Impressive feet. It's different than her feet are impressive. It's an impressive feat.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Whatever
you say.
That was some funny audio there at the end with Kelsey Plum. Here is some just really wholesome audio that got me a little bit yesterday. It is NFL preseason still, and the NFL season ramping up. College football, like week 1 is this weekend. Is that correct?
Yeah. So week 0 technically
is what they call it.
But you got the game in
these
Dublin.
games count.
What is it? Iowa State, Kansas State,
Yeah.
I believe, is they're
they
playing in
count.
Ireland. Yeah.
Just a few weeks away from some football here on your weekends, and got a story here from Tyson Bagent, who I knew nothing about, and he went undrafted, and he's with the Chicago Bears now. He played college football at Shepherd University. That's a D2 school in West Virginia. He went undrafted, and his first deal out of college was just a $25,000 signing bonus. I say just, I understand that's life-changing money. Not big in the NFL world, though. And then he got a $1.5 million deal for the last 2 years. He just this week signed a $10 million 2-year extension, and he absolutely got emotional and broke down at the podium talking about how important and life-changing this money is and how many people that he's going to be able to help.
Yeah, I think that, a lot of people don't know this, but, my dad is he's my right-hand man, and he didn't even have running water until he was in high school. So,
wow.
There's definitely a lot of things and people that I think I could certainly help with this gift I've been blessed with. But yeah, just little things like that. Like, I don't really know anybody back at home with any money. So, yeah, it feels good. I mean, it's certainly a weight off my shoulders and my family's shoulders. And yeah, it definitely means a lot.
God,
man. That's
congratulations
right
to him, man.
Anybody ever heard of
Bacon,
Shepherd University before? I had not.
No.
Shepherd University in Shepherdsville, West Virginia. And he's from Martinsville, West Virginia as well. So,
Dad did not have running water till he was in high school, man. Like,
wild.
The poverty in West Virginia is real. I know it's stereotyped
it
as
is.
well, and I'm sure there are, middle-class people in West Virginia, but there is quite a bit of poverty in that state.
Oh, yeah, some of the poorest places in the country, for sure.
Yeah.
Man, that's amazing. What a great story.
Or Shepherdstown, West Virginia, not Shepherdsville.
Yes.
They're the
awesome.
Rams, not the Shepherds, though. I just looked up their mascot.
All right. Thanks for the
Any more
accuracy.
Any more tidbits?
That's all I've got on
Any more
Shepherdsville.
Shepherdsville?
Shepherd
Oh,
University.
I'm talking about shepherd's pie.
Ooh, I like shepherd's pie. It's got the mashed potatoes on top. I mean, that's like, instead of a top crust, they got mashed potatoes on top. Who doesn't like shepherd's pie?
I don't like shepherd's
You don't like shepherd's pie?
I do not like shepherd's pie.
It's the peas. You don't like peas.
I like peas.
You like peas.
I
Like,
just
you like
don't-
carrots,
You like
right?
all of the parts of shepherd's
It's
pie
like
just
it's
separately?
like peas and
I just
carrots
like-
and
I like
gravy
them-
and meat with mashed potatoes on top.
I like them all separate. Does that make sense? I don't like them together in a pie.
Well, finally, let's wrap it up here with this story. I saw earlier this week that Walmart, this is a kind of a PSA for anybody that may or may not have purchased any raw frozen shrimp from Walmart. Now, I was reading it's only been recalled in 13 states, but Walmart had to do a recall for their frozen shrimp because it could have potential radioactive contamination. Yes, I was reading here. Let's see. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials alerted the FDA that they found this potentially harmful product in shipping containers sent to U.S. ports in L.A., Houston, Miami, and Savannah, Georgia. However, California, the products were not sold here, so you might be okay. But they did have to recall it in 13 states. It's Cesium 137, which is a cesium.
Cesium,
I don't
yeah.
know.
But
Cesium.
how did it get in the shrimp?
I'm reading through it here.
Okay.
It says it says here it's a byproduct of nuclear reactions,
Okay.
including
All right.
nuclear bombs, testing, reactor operations, and accidents. It's widespread around the world with trace amounts found in the environment, including soil, food, and air. And these had too much. It said the level detected in the frozen breaded shrimp was far lower than FDA intervention levels. However, the agency said that avoiding potentially contaminated products could reduce the exposure. So they're just trying to protect everybody who bought.
Have you ever been able to take fried breaded shrimp that had been frozen and make it palatable, radioactive or not? Has that ever been done? Has it ever been done in history? You get a bag of breaded, frozen shrimp, coconut shrimp, even whatever. You put it in the oven. You put it in the microwave, wherever you choose to put it. Has it ever come out and been palatable and not extremely
you have to
soft?
understand that most of the shrimp that you eat, like at restaurants, has been frozen. And they somehow find a way to bring it back to life. You really do need a good fryer, though, and that's one thing that most of us at home don't actually have a deep fryer in our kitchen. That's why restaurant food tends to taste way better, because they can take the frozen stuff and make it a lot better thanks to an actual deep fryer that's maintained well, as opposed to how we're trying to do it at home.
Yeah, people are saying air fryer. I feel like I've done coconut shrimp in our air fryer, and it's a little soft. when it comes out. A little bit soft. Obviously not like you get at the restaurant with the deep fryer, Ben, but I just, man, some of those saddest meals I've ever had were those frozen breaded shrimp put in the microwave, and they're soft.
Microwave is always going to fail you in that situation.
Always.
Anything breaded in a microwave is
it's just warm,
gummy and soft and disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting. Anyway,
even when they have the crisping sleeve, have we talked about the crisping sleeve before?
Many times.
Yeah,
hot pocket sleeve.
Yeah, the hot pocket sleeve. It doesn't work.
Yeah, we did a whole bit on the crisping sleeve.
It doesn't work.
It's such a scam that is. Total scam.
Air fryer can definitely help, which is really just a convection oven. They've kind of slapped a label on it as an air fryer, but it just causes the air to circulate around, which kind of dries it out and makes it crispier tasting on the outside. But it does tend to work, and we got a new one that's works quite well actually at home.
That's fantastic. Why don't you tell us about Prize Picks?
Okay, that's fine, because we got to play Ben's box. So if you want to be our contestants, start calling now, because apparently the first one always seems to win for Ben's box. But we're going to give away some Padres tickets coming out in our next segment against the Dodgers. 833-288-0973, and we'll hopefully just kind of keep it going as you guess what's in Ben's box coming up next. First, though, I'm going to talk about Prize Picks. And you just mentioned the start of college football season, week 0, which means Prize Picks now has special squares out, including one for that game in Ireland with Kansas State quarterback Avery Johnson. Half-yard passing is all you need. Combine that into one of your lineups and win real money with Prize Picks. And you don't even have to do all college football. If you want to combine Avery Johnson with some baseball, you're watching the official daily fantasy sports partner, the San Diego Padres of Prize Picks. You can put their players in your lineup with the free square, win even more. You're just picking against the stats. You against the numbers between 2 and 6 players in your lineups. The more you pick, the more you can win on each individual lineup. And when you sign up today, make sure you download the Prize Picks app and use code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's $5 of your money, $50 from them to play. And you can play for weeks, and if you do well, maybe even months on that first $50. Just use code KWFN, get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Really fun, really easy. I've been doing it for like a year now. You can as well. Prize Picks, run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Segments of Ben and Woods, and then we get over to the round table. But in addition to round table pizza, we now have a beverage to go with it. Richard just stopped by from Harlan Brewing and brought us a bunch of 4-packs of Crohn's Own Lager, Jake's beer. This is very cool. So we're going to have a little pizza and beer this morning, except Woods, you're not on the round table, so you don't get to enjoy any of our pizza and beer.
You can have all the pizza and beer that your heart desires, my friend. All more for you is what I'm all about. Hey, I wanted to shout out one of our tier ones. This is kind of cool. Evan is driving from Minneapolis to Seattle for the next few days with his mom. And he said, we'll be locked in on the show. We help pass the time. So as you guys drive on your long road trip, I don't know how far that is. It feels like it's very long. Thanks for listening to Ben and Woods. Really appreciate it.
Make sure you point out every chain restaurant along the way.
Oh man,
Ben is like the hardest person to do a road trip with.
It's like a 23-hour drive on Google here. It says.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Imagine how many Chili's that you pass. Going, by the way,
you're going through North Dakota, through Montana, through Eastern Washington. I bet you there's like 6 fast food restaurants that entire drive.
Ben would be in the torture chamber driving through there. He's like, he has nothing to point out the whole time, going 1 mile an hour over.
Start doing trees. Oh, what is that? An evergreen? It looks like a pine.
That's a pine.
Pine. Is that wheat or is that barley? What is that?
So good. It's just a legendary experience everyone should get.
All right, we got contestants on the line. We've got Padres tickets to give away, so we are bringing it back one more time. Now, if you missed the last couple of days, we tried to invent really a new game here for Ben and Woods, Ben's Big Box. And all you have to do to win is identify based on the sound it makes, what is in Ben's big box. Unfortunately, in each of the first 2 iterations of our game, the first person immediately guessed what was in the box.
The whole point is to go caller until we get the right one.
Right.
And paper clips went
the
number
first
1.
day. And then yesterday, somehow, on the very first guess, bobblehead was the right answer. I mean, instantly. And that seemed crazy, but it actually happened. So we're going.
Do you think you can stump somebody today?
We're going with the 3rd iteration. And this time I just put something really random in the box. Really random. Again, just a common everyday object that I've put in the box, and you have to identify by sound. The first person to correctly identify what's in the box.
I forgot what it is.
We changed it anyway, so you don't even know what it is. You can
did?
Guess, yeah, I did.
Well,
what's in the You don't even know. So if you identify what's in the box, you will win 2 tickets for tomorrow night's Padres-Dodgers game.
So nervous.
Start your weekend off with San Diego's biggest happy hour, Party in the Park, presented by Southwest Airlines. Enjoy drink specials starting at $5 and live music in Gallagher Square from the time the gates open to first pitch. Your tickets available at Padres.com/tickets. Good luck getting them this weekend, though. You better win them here from Ben and Woods if you don't have them. So let's just go down the line. Let's bring our first contestant on. Is this Neil?
Yes, it is.
Neil. All right. I'm gonna shake up the box. Listen very carefully. You get 1 guess, and if you're wrong, we'll go on to the next one. Neil,
I am rooting for your failure.
We got a
here.
bigger, better box now. Bigger, better Ben's box. What's in the box? Here you go. Listen carefully. All right. What's in the box?
Can you shake it one more time?
Go side to side.
Yeah.
Go side to side.
Not much noise there on side to side.
I'm gonna go
Quickly, Neil.
a pencil.
Incorrect. That means we go for the first time ever to our second contestant. Michael, are you there? Hello, Michael? Anyone? No one there.
We had somebody.
I heard just Michael. Nope. There you are. Michael, you still there?
Yep.
All right. You ready to play? Here's what's in Ben. You get 1 guess. Here it is again. What's in Ben's box?
Let's go sunglasses.
Incorrect.
Sorry.
All right. Let's move on. Jamie, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Jamie, you get 1 guess to win Padres-Dodgers tickets. What's in Ben's box?
I'm going to say a
stapler.
Incorrect.
No, sorry.
We thought about it, but no. All right, so let's go to contestant.
Right,
who's
how
this?
do we do this? Like after a certain amount, do we start giving any hints?
Yeah,
like, to kind of whittle it down.
Yeah,
We got to narrow it down
once we
a
get through
bit.
5. All right, who's this on the line?
If you can hear our voice, say something.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi.
Natasha.
Natasha. All right, you're a contestant here. I'm going to give it another shake.
Natasha, what's in Ben's
box?
box?
What's in Ben's box?
Notebook?
Not a notebook.
Sorry.
All right, I'm going to give a clue now for our next contestant. The clue is it is somewhat food related. All right, let's go to, is this Carlos?
Yeah, is it a packet of sliced cheeses?
It is not a packet of sliced cheeses. Leftover from my grilled cheese experiences. Sorry, no.
Packet of sliced cheeses.
Let's go to line 7. Is this Sam?
Hello? Yeah.
Hello. All right, you
Sam.
get the next guess. All right, something.
Somebody's got to get it now. Now it's going to go on too long.
Food and beverage related. What is it?
It's a water bottle.
It is not a water bottle. All right, let's go back to the top of our line. Roger, are you there?
I am. Hey, guys.
All right.
Hey,
What's in Ben's box? Something from the realm of food and drink.
It's just a water bottle.
It's not a water
Not a
bottle.
water
It's
bottle.
not.
It's
All
already
right,
been
let's
guessed.
go. We've got, is this Ramon?
Yes.
All right, Ramon, for the Padres tickets.
Is it like a K-pod, coffee pod?
Oh, it's not.
That's
What
a
a
good
good
guess.
guess, though, around the office.
a
Good
good
try.
guess.
That is incorrect. All right, I'm going to give one more, and then I'll give another clue. Who's this on the line? Hello, I hear you.
Banana.
A banana.
A banana is incorrect. Never even got your name. All right, hang on. I'm going to give you another guess. It's something you use to help you consume food or drink. That should be enough. Sean, are you there? What is it?
Sorry, what was that?
What?
It's got to be from your skanky lunchroom, a fork.
Oh, a fork. No, it's not.
Not a fork.
I was like, where's he going with this, dude?
You're skanky. What?
All right. Is this Jamie or Jaime? Caller, are you there?
I don't know if I can hear you. That's all.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, so what's your name?
My name's Rick.
Oh,
Rick.
it's Rick. Never mind. All right, Rick, you're our next
Yes.
contestant.
Gotta love caller ID.
Something you use to consume food or beverage. What's in Ben's box?
I'm gonna go with the lid.
Oh, no.
Not a lid.
No, not a lid. Let's go to line 7 here. Is this Frank?
Maybe we just give it to the next guy.
What's in Ben's box, Frank?
A packet of sugar.
No. Does a packet of sugar make that much noise? I don't think so. Let's go to the top here. Tommy, are you there?
Yes.
What's in Ben's box?
It's straw.
It
Yes!
is a straw.
Look at you, Tommy.
Tommy.
Brilliant SOB.
I don't know what's worse, losing the first winner or like going through
15.
17 callers to finally get a straw. Tommy, congratulations. Stay on the line. You have
Congrats.
won the Padres Dodgers tickets. What's in Ben's big box?
You have a straw in your box?
I put a straw in my box.
All right.
Did you get it?
No, I had no idea.
All right.
Zero. I even texted Paulie. He still didn't tell me. So I had no clue. I said, what is it?
What
He
is
didn't
it?
tell me.
You were dying to know.
Gabriel says, terrible game, by the way. I know. That's why we did it. That's
All right.
exactly
Well,
what we
you know
wanted.
what? We can retire it or we can bring it back by popular demand. It's totally up to the tier ones now if we ever play Ben's
Yeah,
big
let us
box
know if you
again.
guys liked it. We'll try
We'll do
to
a poll.
Let's
we
do a
got to
poll.
try to find like the middle ground. Like I think the sweet spot is like 3 and 6
3 to 5.
callers. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you
I'm
okay?
getting
over there?
nauseous.
Yeah,
No,
Woods
not
is
really.
having some trouble here. So if you need a moment, go ahead and take it. We've got Sam Levitt joining us from the ballpark. He's already at Petco Park for today's day game, so he's going to join us coming up next year on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Covered Gambler. GEGE 000466. For a full list of games and rules, played at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
All right, I know Woods feeling a little under the weather, so I don't have to talk about the food at 7 Mile Casino right now. But you know what? It's a comfortable place to sit and play cards. They got really comfy chairs, great dealers. There's no smoke, nothing to make you nauseous when you're playing at 7 Mile Casino.
No, I'm powering through it, just like you would power through maybe a long session of Texas Hold'em, right? At 7 Mile Casino. They got California style blackjack. They got pie gown baccarat as well. Yeah, it's a smoke-free environment, so you feel good when you walk in the door. No slot machines either to drive you absolutely nuts. It's just a good place to go, man. And the best part, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Yeah, there are other card rooms in town, but most of them are 45 minutes or more away. And don't forget, that's one way. You also have to drive back at the end with 7 Mile Casino. You just the short drive down the 5 freeway in Chula Vista. You're on the west side. Bay Boulevard, get off at East Street if you're going south there. You just stay for about half a mile. You're pulling right into the parking lot, and moments later, you are playing cards, your favorite game, whatever it is. Texas Hold'em, California-style blackjack, baccarat, or pie gown. Play it today at 7 Mile Casino. It's just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Ben's Big Egg Box appears to be a very polarizing segment. We may have to put some more thought into any future editions of the game.
That's fine. I'm always down to get in the lab and create something new.
Although I think the funniest comment was the person who said their guess was going to be radioactive cesium-tainted frozen shrimp. In the box.
Walmart shrimp, as it were.
Quickly, before we get to Sammy, just wanted to mention, because I've been teasing it all morning and haven't really gotten to it, Padres did add to their lead over both the Mets and the Reds in the wild card standings yesterday. The Nationals helped out by beating the Mets 5-4. Josh Bell with a home run and 2 runs batted in for the Nats. And the Angels got 7 strong innings from Yusei Kikuchi in a 2-1 win over the Cincinnati Reds. Cool off the Reds a little bit. So the Padres now 3.5 games ahead of the Mets and 4.5 games ahead of the Reds, who are the first team out. And that's also 5 games in the loss column ahead of the Cincinnati Reds, who do have 3 head-to-head matchups remaining at Petco Park later this season. So they're probably hanging their hat on, well, they could head-to-head at least have that ability, but tough to win games on the road like that. And as we mentioned, the Padres have a easy schedule, at least the easiest by statistically in baseball going forward the rest of the year.
Yes, sir. We don't believe in that, though. We don't believe in those platitudes, Benjamin.
I
know they're just numbers, but I know it's just numbers, but one game at a time, baby.
All right, Sammy standing by. This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Nativa Interiors. This Labor Day weekend, 2 iconic design companies are joining forces for a warehouse sale. Join Nativa Interiors and Hold It Contemporary Home in Miramar for huge discounts on living, dining, bedroom, and outdoor furnishings. Call or text for more details at 619-215-6893. Sam Levitt, right after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive through oil change. A couple of problems on northbound 125, wrapping up our morning drive. Got this collision on the Otay Lakes Road on-ramp to north 125. Then reports of a crash north 125 at the Grossmont College off-ramp. Also going to find on North 5 Coastline just before Mission Avenue, collision in the clearing stage, and collision on the eastbound 78 right around Barham. Looks like a couple vehicles involved. Everything's over the right shoulder. Before you hit the beach, the mountains, or even the 5 this Labor Day weekend, be road trip ready with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment needed. Stay in your car while they change your oil and check your tires, battery, and fluids. Coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Are joining us now live from his spot in the loft at Petco Park, where he's going to be doing the Eco Water SoCal pregame show in exactly 3 hours. No, 2.5 hours is Sam Levitt. Good morning, Sammy. Early day for you.
Hi, guys. Good morning. Yes, cloudy here at Petco Park, but I'm sure it'll clear up here soon, setting up to be a nice afternoon of baseball. You know, I think the world of you guys and your radio abilities. I'm a tier 1 myself. I will admit, I think Ben's box needs to go back into the vault for a little bit, maybe back in for a little bit more
workshopping
time in the oven, workshop it a little bit, and then maybe.
Well, we
try
got a
it.
very
It
small.
sounds like something you could really you could workshop a little bit in the offseason.
Yeah, very
Sounds
small
like that, too.
survey results so far early in our
Mhm.
poll on our YouTube stream, but 85% say they want more of what's in Ben's box.
Okay.
People have spoken already.
Man, when Sammy, and now I'm rethinking everything. I had Jack. I had Mailman Jack tell me it was I think the funny part of it was the two people guessing it right out of the chute. It's not as funny when 40 people are like,
yes,
Right.
sandwich, cheese. Like,
So we were too easy and too
Too
hard.
hard.
Can we find the
Too
middle
hard.
ground? Yeah.
that's it. That's the sweet spot where it's like hitting the ball at the end of the bat or right on the barrel. It's just or you get jammed. Like you got to find the sweet spot, Sammy, and that's what our Padres will try to continue today. That was fun, man. Watching this team hit 4 home runs last night was pretty spectacular. Ben had the number earlier. We haven't hit more than 2 home runs in a game
June
since what,
28th.
Benny?
Yeah, June 28th.
June 28th.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, 3 home runs in a game is not, Sammy, outrageous in this day and age of baseball.
Yeah, and it's going to be really, really important that they slug more. Look, the Padres obviously have had a great season. They're sitting a game out of the division lead. They're where you want them to be this time of year, but they've certainly done it without a lot of slug. I mean, entering yesterday, they had 106 home runs, second fewest in the major leagues, and that was the second fewest by 12 to the next team that was sitting in 28th on the list. And if you go look at the teams that are down the list there, they're teams that you don't really want to be around. So the Padres have won in spite of the lack of power, lack of slug. And I thought Kevin Acee had a really interesting note today in the San Diego Union Tribune. I'll talk about it on the pregame as well. But I think we all understand that slugging home runs, especially in the postseason, it's really important. He wrote this today. The last World Series champion to have ranked lower than 13th in home runs during the regular season was the 2015 Kansas City Royals. The past 6 World Series winners have ranked in the top 5. And that's not to say that the Padres can't go win a World Series. This is a really well-constructed team, and I think we all agree they have a real shot to do something very, very special this year. But I suppose the point is they would be an anomaly based on their regular season power numbers. And there are some other numbers that Kevin had in there. I thought it was a great job by him pulling those up. So doesn't mean you can't win. Doesn't mean you can't have a great postseason run, but certainly finding the slug in this lineup, and my goodness, Sheets and O'Hearn providing it the last couple of days, it does seem like an important thing, and they got a lot of it last night.
Sam, we're going to talk about it on the roundtable, but let's get your thoughts here. The Padres' daily lineup construction, especially against left-handed pitching. Now, I know Mike Schilt asks you every day who you think should be batting in the top 4 in the order and whether Ryan O'Hearn should be batting against lefties. What do you think, though, at this point? Where does Luis Ariz belong in the lineup? Is Ryan O'Hearn an everyday player or just an everyday starter against right-handed pitching?
Yeah, I mean, to me, O'Hearn's got to be in there one way or another every day, right? Whether it's DH, whether it's first base, guys, it's a really interesting conversation. And I know there's been a lot of discourse on this station about it over the course of the past week. I mean, seeing what Sheets and O'Hearn did last night and having that power threat, it's so important. But then you do have a guy in Luis Ariz who's not having, nearly as good of a year as he's had in the last 3 when he won 3 consecutive batting titles. Then Luis any night can give you 3-4 hits. And I think the tough part about it is I truly believe that Mike Schilt and the Padres really value Luis and view him as one of their core guys. So are you going to see a situation where you've got O'Hearn playing first base, Sheets DHing, gives you more power, and Cronenworth playing second, and Ariz is on the bench? You could make an argument that might optimize your lineup, but you're also telling Luis Ariz, who's been your everyday first baseman, that he's sitting on the bench. And just knowing how this team typically operates with their veterans, that's very hard for me to see. So I would bet, I think the optimal lineup from a power standpoint, if we just want to focus on slug and what this team lacks, is having O'Hearn in there every day and maybe having Sheets in there most days as well. But I'll be honest with you, I really think it's probably going to stay about status quo. Maybe O'Hearn's in there more against lefties. but I see it as staying more status quo than maybe fans want it to, because I just don't see the situation where Arise is sitting on the bench. I don't, based on how this is typically been dealt with when it comes to their core veteran guys. We've seen this team, give a really long leash to veteran guys. I mean, pick your name out of a hat the last few years. There's a lot of examples of it, and Luis is certainly, I think, in a much different position than, let's say, the Jason Haywards of the world, right? Guys like that, more veteran guys, kind of at the end of their career. So we'll see. If you're asking my opinion, I think having O'Hearn and Sheets in the lineup gives you something they lack. Now, Sheets for a while there wasn't swinging the bat great. He's done great. Credit to him since getting a couple of starts here. But, I try to get them in the lineup as much as possible. But I think Arise is going to be in there most days, so you're not going to have both.
Yeah, I agree, Sammy, and it'll be really, really interesting to see how it plays out. Guys getting an opportunity because Jackson Merrill is down right now. And any update on him and whether do we have a lineup out yet for today or no? Do we not?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be out. Clubhouse opens at 10:15, so typically before Clubhouse opens, it comes out.
Well, you forget it's noon here, Sammy. We're in Texas, where I'm at,
yes.
so I'm chomping at the bit.
No, you're good. Jackson Merrill. It doesn't sound super promising based on what Mike Schilt said yesterday. I mean, it certainly doesn't sound like there's an impossible, or I should say, it doesn't sound like it's impossible that this might require an IL stint. And quite candidly, I'm not a doctor. I've not talked to Jackson about it. He talked very briefly earlier in the week about it, and didn't seem super happy about not playing. And I get it. I got to be honest with you. I saw him walking yesterday when he went out to just do the handshake line. He's not walking great. I mean, it's a noticeable limp. So when I look at that and I'm hearing Mike Schilt yesterday, we'll see what happens. But this does not seem like something that's going to be, fully better in a couple of days. Now, the Padres may have to make a decision as to whether they want him to play compromised or if they want to sit him down and get him right. I would probably err on the side if you sit him down and you get him right, because you need this guy. And you've got a deeper team. You can get by without him, but you need him right. So we'll see. I'm not going to get out on a ledge here and say for sure he's going on the IL, but based on how Mike was talking yesterday, and quite frankly, based on how Jackson is just walking, I would not be surprised if this is a longer absence than what you originally thought when he just rolled his ankle.
And keep in mind, you can only backdate an injury list move 3 days. So if you want to keep him on the minimum 10 days, you could do it later today and backdate it 3 days, and then you get him back in a week. But if you wait, you're pushing back his return date every single day as well. So it kind of is decision time for the Padres on Jackson Merrill today at some point, even if it's after the game. Sammy, before you go, obviously every game is well attended at Petco Park. This one is no exception this afternoon, but I imagine it'll be a more relaxed atmosphere. What are you expecting this weekend, starting tomorrow night? 3 critical home games against the Dodgers.
I mean, I'm expecting what it usually is.
Bedlam.
It's intense. Look, it's intense. There will be Dodgers fans here, right? So you don't want them to have fun in this building. Of course, the biggest misconception on social media is that, the Padres only sell out when the Dodgers are in town, which couldn't be further from the truth. Now, look, when they're here, it's 2 hours away, and a lot of Dodger fans, I'm sure, in Orange County, and some even down here. It's going to be a lot of blue, right? Or a sizable amount of blue. So it'll be intense. But look, it's going to be, if the Padres win today, at worst, another opportunity for the Padres to make a statement. And it's going to be a fascinating series. I'll tell you what, it is fascinating that the Dodgers, after sweeping the Padres, have gone to Colorado and looked the way they have in a couple of those games. So this continues to be a fascinating race, and I'm sure it'll be intense and a lot of fun. Let's enjoy it.
Guess that's all for Woods. You got no more questions for Sammy?
I mean, aren't we out of time?
Yeah, we got a minute left.
We got 45 seconds. Ben can jam in 3 more questions.
Exactly. No, Sammy, have a good broadcast today. We'll hear from you back at 12:10 this afternoon.
All right, guys. Sounds good.
There he is, Sam
Sammy,
Levitt.
break down launch angle for me, please, quickly. Nah, I was looking at the clock. I'm like, we only got 1 minute, so I'm going to let Sammy go.
You've
Get
only
about his
got
business.
1 minute. Paulie and I have an hour and 1 minute still left as we're
Enjoy.
about to head over to our Roundtable Pizza Roundtable for commercial-free Padres talk for the next hour. So we invite all the Tier 1s to join us either virtually or on the radio for the next hour to talk some Padres baseball, continue the lineup discussion, of course. I'm sure there will be some interesting moments in this next hour discussing Ryan O'Hearn and Luis Arraez.
Have a great roundtable, fellas. We'll do the show tomorrow, and then I will haul ass to DFW Airport and get on a plane and come home.
All right, we look forward to talking to you tomorrow. See you on Monday, but that is it for us today. Woodsy, best of luck to Gary when you go to the doctor's office today. We're all thinking of him for sure. For Stephen Woods and Paul Reindl, I'm Ben Higgins. Roundtable is coming up next here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Don't go away, anybody.